Welcome back to the Gfinity Arena, where we have already seen Prophecy taking on Reason and winning 2-0 in Game 1. Our second matchup tonight sees one UK team on the rise and the other in a bit of a slump. Excel having lost 2 in a row, but Endpoint pumped after their first win of the Elite Series last weekend. As you can see, the team lineups there. We've got the likely lads on the right-hand side, Endpoint, with Imi and Pickles, 2 great players to chat about. And then, of course, Mighty Max pops up every now and again with some very, very important kills. And then on the Excel, we'll move on to chat about them in a second because I have to show impartiality. My boys, Excel. Let's talk about Endpoint, in particular, Charlie Pickles. He seems to be left behind sometimes, where he's got to do some clutch gaming and doesn't manage to do it, and then sometimes he does. He's normally left with a lot of workload, isn't he?
Yeah, especially in that first week, we saw him being left alive a lot, and this next few weeks he's kind of had a bit of a better situation around him, I suppose is the best way to put it. I remember I said he had inflated stats. Inflated
stat,
And he kind of proved me wrong, I guess is the best way to put it. I think he had something ridiculous, like 33 kills in that cash game.
Yeah, this is where they beat Method 2-0.
Yeah,
but just fantastic play. This is someone you want in your team to pick up those frags every now and again.
They picked him up just to get kills, nothing like helping calling or anything like that. Get kills, and then that's what he's doing, obviously. 119 across the 6 maps played so far. Nice average of 20. Yeah,
and for the headshots of 22.3% and average damage rate 74.53. Good player. What's the role he plays in the Endpoint?
He's pretty much just a rifler / entry fragger, really. He's not like not IGL, not AWP, not lurker. He's just there to get kills, pretty much.
Your job is to kill, go out there and do it. Have you seen much of Pickles' play, James?
I haven't, no. But the only, well, the main person I'm familiar with on this team is Cryptix. I've seen him play before. And I think I've played some 10-mans with some of the guys on both teams, although normally I'm the 11th person who's not picked. But anyway, moving swiftly on from that, you know, he can be a patient tapper on his team, which not many people are. A lot of people will spray sometimes, it's panic, sometimes they just like spraying. But that's something that's been actually nerfed in this game, is spraying. It's less consistent. Yeah. So if he's still doing his patient tapping role, then that may be good for his team.
And he's very good, if you follow Charlie Pickles' Twitter, he's very good at ordering hotel food. His specific thing is to ask what's the minimum that I have to spend to be able to get room service. It's a beautiful thing. Maybe check out on his Twitter when you get a chance. What about the main man himself, Imi, one of the player of the weeks last week. Fantastic, really, at AWPing and picking up kills left and right, and being in the IGL.
Yeah, it's something I mentioned, like he was my key in that matchup. Like picking up the AWP, he had to make sure he used it correctly and takes advantage of the fact that he is the IGL AWPer. He can do what he wants with it, and obviously he did. I think it was something ridiculous, like 35 AWP kills he had during that series, which is a crazy amount.
Yeah, and what's his general role? Is he quite a loud person up there communicating, telling the other boys what they need to do?
I suppose it's best to say he is a bit loud. He's from Liverpool.
Okay, fair enough. All right, getting specific on the geography. All right, like that.
Yeah, but they tend to be quite loud from there.
There he is with his headset. I believe it was his birthday or something.
Yeah, it was his birthday on Monday.
Yeah, so
it was a nice treat.
And who's the guy in the background there?
That's Jakey, the coach. He's pretty much like the last week or so. He's kind of been put into more of a involved role. Like he was doing the veto for them like last week, and obviously it went well, so he did it again this week. So hopefully that goes well for him too.
Yeah, and I love the fact he was just ordering a little energy drink there. I need an energy drink. There you go. Mighty Max, talk about him. You've got experience playing alongside him.
Yeah, like I mentioned, I think it was week 2, that he's kind of, in the past he's been kind of pushed to be like the star player, best player like in the UK at times. And it kind of got on his shoulders a bit, is what I've noticed. But he's kind of pulled himself back a bit now, and he's playing a lot more supporty as well as getting like very important rounds. I think it was the 3 kills right at the end of that Method game in overtime, which kind of swung it. That was it. He gets very important kills when needed, is basically the gist.
Perfect. Well, listen, that is a little bit of a chat about Endpoint. Now, they're flying high, they've got the spirits, but what about Excel? Well, how is the mood in the camp? Big question mark there. Yasmin can bring us more as she joins up with Boaster.
All right, so I am backstage with one of my favourites, Boaster. How you doing?
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely smashing, thank you.
Every week you have a smile on your face. Now, I'm not going to lie, you shouldn't be smiling. It's not going very well, is it?
I just know that we're going to win today. We're going to win.
You've said that every week. You've said that every week. No, seriously. You're up against Endpoint today, and I've been hearing the rumours that you and Pickles are arch nemesises. Nemesises? Nemesises.
Yeah.
Charlie Pickles is your arch nemesis, basically, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we play every game together, and sometimes we play together, but we always want to be better than the other. So, yeah.
Have you got any words for Pickles right now?
I'm coming to your bomb site, mate. I'm gonna just take him out. Oh no, that's cringe.
Terrible.
Cut that. Cut that. Oh,
No, we're keeping that. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you very much. That was brilliant. I'm coming to your bomb site and I'm which I don't think you even really have in CSGO. Is that a silencer on that? Is that where the sound's a bit muffled?
Trains in his hands, choo, choo, choo.
I think it's the water guns at home.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It was fighting talk from XL. They really do need to get that win. They've been unlucky a few times. Good players. You've got the Orpa there with Luzza, Jacob the IGL getting a couple of kills. Connor needs to come alive again. We saw so much from him in the first 2 weeks. Last
Look
week.
how proud he is, Jacob. Look, he's like really proud of his team in this picture.
Of course he is. He's so proud, as he should
We are
be.
the lads.
And the
Proud of him as a cousin?
and are we the lads when Dunsky's there as well? Phil, the Northern Irish man from Belfast. You've got the support play from him. I mean,
There's Boaster, very focused on the match today.
what I love about Boaster is also doing a bit of a vlog, a Mr. Vlogger at the moment, and he gives the sort of the spirits and everything like that. Can they get that win against Endpoint? Endpoint coming off the back of a very successful win. XL need to get that win. What do we reckon?
My mind's saying that Endpoint probably ride the momentum and kind of take it, but XL are in a do-or-die situation in my mind. Like they have to be winning this situation, like this game, if they want a chance at playoffs anyway. Like they have to be. I think they've played Prophecy. They played what was it? Method first week.
Yeah, they got that 1-0 against Method,
yeah.
and it was they lost 2-0 to Prophecy and then 2-0 to Epsilon Esports.
Yeah, so they played two of the international teams.
So now they should.
They need results against the UK teams if they stand the chance to get in the playoffs.
Okay, right, well listen, I'll tell you what we'll do, James and SEO. We'll go for a little break right now because we'll be talking maps when we come back, and the live action is just a few moments away. See you very shortly.
right now, rolling.
Big round to win.
Still going to be so hard. Takes him down. Get a fiery 2-0. Match point secured. Another huge clutch round. Finds the headshot.
Method, they got absolutely demolished.
Takes him down.
That's a massive round to win. Cracks beginning to show.
There's his way through. This could be it. Endpoint tear their way through Method.
So this is Cash, and this is a map we are talking about quite a lot today. For Endpoint, it has been the scene of two remarkable matches against Team Infuse. They staged a remarkable comeback from 9-0 to clinch victory. Last week, they collapsed from 12-3 up and only squeaked home in overtime. So if we get Cash selected for this match, you might want to settle in for the old long haul. And unless you have someone who's like a catering staff, you're not going to get provided with meals for it. What do you reckon for this sort of setup today with these maps?
I feel like we don't see Cash. I feel like both teams, or XL especially, they'll kind of look to avoid that. I think the first 2 weeks they vetoed Cash second anyway.
Yeah.
So they're probably not very comfortable on it to begin with. So that's probably for the best of, of everybody watching too.
Yeah.
They don't want to go through another slobber knocker, do they?
Slobber knocker. I'm assuming you're aware of this phrase, James, coined by Jackie, slobber knocker.
I've heard it mentioned earlier on in the green room, so looking forward to it being whipped out later on.
Were they throwing about a good slobber knocker backstage?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You know, preparing for the ones on camera. So.
Yeah. Now, I've been told that the XL won the coin toss, so it'd be Endpoint who gets a pick first, aka Veto. So let's see what happens here.
So train ban's not too surprising. I think that was just a case of them not wanting to play that specifically. One thing that's weird though is both teams have vetoed Cobble in the past 3 weeks. So I should see a Cobble ban from one of them. Is that actually going to come through? I'm
disappointed we're not going to get the long haul. Cobble's out as
Cobble
well as
out.
Cash and Nuke.
So Overpass, Inferno, and what was it? Mirage, and Overpass and Inferno. So Overpass picked by Endpoint.
Handshake. Very nice.
I knew Endpoint were focusing on Overpass and Mirage, so to have Inferno be there is kind of a bit of a oddball, I guess.
Works,
yeah,
perhaps.
Yeah, like they've been focusing heavily on that Overpass Mirage thought, because obviously XL picked it like the first 2 weeks, and they lost on it. So I think they finally realised we kind of need something else.
A little mix up there.
Yeah.
To do it, why not? We can, because we should. You're the analysts, you're the experts. You predicted it very correctly in the first matchup today. On this map 1, Overpass. We've already seen Overpass once today. Who would you say is going to edge this one? Is it going to be a close affair, or is it going to be a little bit one-sided, or
I'd like to think that with the prep that Jake and Endpoint have done, that they should be able to take Overpass. I would say convincingly, but you know, at the end of the day, it's quite close either way. So I'd probably think like 16-12 Endpoint.
Yeah. Okay. And what about yourself, James?
I'm going to go with whatever he says, to be honest.
Okay.
He's
Wow.
far more educated on these teams than I am. So rather than be a fraud, I'll just copy everything he's saying for that one.
So you're both saying
16-12. Exactly.
16-12
yeah,
to who?
that's what I'm saying as well.
Yeah.
Endpoint. Wow. Why? Why Endpoint going to squeeze it? And just because it's your old team, SEO.
I mean, I went against them last week and they won.
Yeah.
So I wonder if maybe there's a curse at hand here.
Oh, okay.
That could be possible.
Okay. And obviously with Overpass, what is the best strategy to play this map?
There's a mixture, really, isn't it?
On the defensive side, it's nice to create space for your team early and then back off, because if you show presence towards the end of the map, then it forces the T's to spend time before they get to the sites clearing their area out. If A is in their intentions, or even they want to show some presence there themselves, there's so many corners for them to deal with first. So that's important. On the T side, we saw some good strats from Prophecy. You can expect on the buy rounds the CTs to have some AWP setups. There are some common ones which you want to flash them off their angles. So we saw some good examples of that from Prophecy, and hopefully we'll see that as well from these two teams.
Endpoint XL, very, very exciting. Now, gentlemen, we're going to enjoy this, but CS fans, we have a treat for you with a special casting duo joining us today. Pansy is back for her second week at the Elite Series, but this afternoon she is joined by a familiar face on the global CS scene. Machine is very welcome to the Gfinity Arena. I'm going to come over, and I'm going to come straight. I feel it's awkward in the middle, but I'm in a Pansy and Machine.
Well, we've already discussed this.
I thought we were bumping. We talked all about it.
I thought just start off formally, but no, I love this. I'm in a Pansy and Machine sandwich. How are you seeing this one go? You heard from the experts over there. Your experts as well. How are you seeing this one going?
I think I'm probably going to take a leaf out of the the Bardolph book and not copy SEO at all. Actually, I'm actually thinking Excel exclusively because I heard Boaster singing songs.
Yes.
Just now. I think he was doing Umbrella by Rihanna.
Rihanna number.
Good,
beautiful. So I think on his singing prowess, I think that's going to carry over into game.
Yeah, that woman is on fire. Obviously, Pansy, he's an emotional player. I know this for a fact, Boaster. He's bringing the
I saw that.
Yes, which is awkward. But if he's in high spirits, he plays better. That's a lot of CSGO players, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think you're right. You do have the highest highs, but then you can also have the lowest lows. If things go poorly, you tend to feel worse. You're an emotional player, so it's not always the good thing. So I've got to hope they get that good T-side start, because we saw before their T-sides, their attacking sides are way better than the CTs that hindered them. I think it's going to be linchpinned on that pretty much for me.
And just to add quickly onto the emotional note, seeing players that start shouting all the time, when that's absent, it's very noticeable. And so suddenly you have that real extreme of they're either loud or they're not. And it can lead to inconsistent results.
Well, listen, guys, I'm very much looking forward to this machine. Pansy, I'll leave it in your capable hands.
Thank you very much.
It's going to be a great match. Excel versus Endpoint.
Yeah, this is going to be good. And Overpass is the starting map, Alex. Now, let's take this into account. One of those that can be defined by a good CT side. AWPing aggression, taking over map control. Things that we haven't seen these two teams strive in before now. Your first opinions coming into this. What's your point now?
Okay, so let's start with the overpass we saw just before this. We saw an overpass where a team went 10-0 down, and where did they find that sudden advantage? Where did they start finding rounds? They started being aggressive on the CT side. We saw them pushed up Fountain. We saw people pushing underpass for early communication, at least, even if it's absent, even if you're getting no information is information. There's no one there, you know there has to be T's somewhere on that map. And I think that's something that was absent at the start of the Prophecy Reason game. I would love to see whoever is starting on the CT side, you can see they're knifing now on our screens. Whoever starts that, I would love to just, I like put Luzzer on a fast party peak. Just put something early would really put a smile on my face.
No, we're going to have to wait and see if that comes through. And I do think you're absolutely right. This map can just be almost hinged on that.
But seeing players like spawn on site and then kind of just dance for a little bit, it really does upset me.
Now, I'm wondering, so Endpoint apparently won the knife.
Okay.
Looking at what we just saw. Now, I wonder if someone's going to be cheeky, just go straight on T. Do you reckon Endpoint are that confident? It's kind of hard to call it. If you're meant to be, quote unquote, better on T-sides, we've seen it infamously, and you can't apply it to the entire scene of CS, but it does seem to be quite intrinsic with what we've seen so far. Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
do you reckon they're confident enough to do it, or maybe play it off smoother?
We've started seeing very big names doing it. Astralis as well have been a team that have moved into that kind of, you have an opportunity to dictate the pace. For example, on maps like Inferno, on Overpass, if you've got someone up your sleeve, they'll do it, and not going to be happening today. Endpoint had the opportunity, and they've chosen to start on defense.
Shame. But this is the thing that I will also now be looking at is, how good can Excel get here? Because their T-sides last time, Mirage, I was watching out, Boaster had a huge performance. He had an incredible game on that map, but specifically to T-side. He was opening up sites, he was confident, you could see it in the way he was playing, approaching the map. If he gets off to a good start, I'd love to watch a bit of that. But I've already spoken to the day, they said we're going to adjust our CT side, so they know it was an issue, and they're willing to work on it.
Well, here we go, it's Endpoint XL, the second of the day here for the Gfinity Elite Series, and we are seeing a heavy presence towards Underpass. Bomb as well in tow, Windansky the man wielding that, but the CTs have got a trick up their sleeve as well. Whilst there may be a stack in Underpass, the CTs have something similar in play, all about to converge on towards one bomb site.
Endpoint have seemingly done their homework here, putting all these plays in the right place.
The boost as well.
Yeah, the boost as an addition is huge. Let's keep our eyes on the bomb, see if they actually commit it. So far, it's 2 players through Monster, so they're not giving it all up. They put Connor down there and Boasters. They're basically lambs to the slaughter, because look at where that bomb's going, Alex.
This is a little bit of a double bluff, but unfortunately, once again, this time it's Jesp to find the head quickly. These Glocks need to get close quarters and fast, but even then, Jesp thrives. It's going to be another, and this already looks like it's game over for the pistol. Luzzer, final man to fall. Not a single man on the CT side taking a bullet, and that will be a fantastic start. You said a quick start for the CTs. You couldn't ask for more than that.
No, that's perfect. That gets you right into the game. That gets you ahead in the right place as well. You've not only read that pistol play well, you adjusted perfectly. You got the players back towards the other site. Your players who are staying there, the 2 players who I think it was Jesp and Charlie Pickles was close by, they handled it themselves too. They didn't need the additional support, but they're there in the right place. And I don't like the way the bomb's in spawn. Not a strategy I often go for.
So here's my problem. Not only is the bomb in spawn, there is not a single useful nade on this T side. Just one man take the hit. One man just needs to go unarmored, go naked. And we'll see how it works out for them. They're just going to go brute force Tech 9s, and surely they're just going to catch bullets left and right. Already one man has been the magnet. You can see Luzzer also down to 14.
I don't know why he's here on his own. There's no need. His teammate fell back. I'm pretty sure Jesp fell back because he was dinked. He was tagged up. You don't need to stay on your own there. That opens up opportunities and a gun to be recovered. It allows you to be vulnerable when you really don't need it.
And you get untraded frags as well. There's no fun in that one. You've also put a USP into the T's hands. It's full head armor as well. Suddenly your FAMAS and your UMP aren't quite as scary. We'll find out how far this one does develop, though the T's, whilst they have managed to maneuver the bomb, have yet to gather too much intel as they look to be preparing themselves for that single smoke execute.
So it's basically on Mighty Max in my eyes here. You're going to have Jesp as an early warning system. So when they hit that site, if he gets 1, 2, that's phenomenal. Because they are armored up, bearing in mind this T side. So they do have a decent approach to this. Now, Connor should be able to set this piece into play as he does have the smoke. So keep your eyes on that. As that gets put through, the long hit will come in.
He's in exactly the lineup as well for that bin smoke. So you're probably going to be seeing that. In fact, he's doing it now, yep. Going to be throwing that one out. We'll see that one gliding in, and that will put Max out of bounds for now. In fact, not really. He's probably pushed straight through that. He's got time. Yes, indeed. A smoke himself towards long. That's late. Here comes the frags, though. Max with one. A second will soon follow, this time from Jesp and Connor. He's not long for this world as well. Taking a couple on the way out, but low HP. And now even lower. He's taken down by Max with the USP, and we do see the second. Still, for the absence of utility, they got onto the site. A little bit more. Imagine if there'd have been a Molotov behind that, a couple of flashbangs, and that bomb may very well have gone down.
Yeah, a flash. Considering that Mighty Mouse actually pushed into the site,
Bingo.
he committed to that, and that's fine. Like, I don't mind if he was there to try and support Jesp. He could have backed away and gone back. Perfectly fine as well. Probably given up the bomb plant, though, so he made a bit of a risky choice to go for that. But as I said, one flash, anything could have really put them into play, and that's what frustrates you when you look at those buys. You think, one of you maybe just went on that.
Look at Imi. Look at Imi go. Going to be shopping, and is only going to get the one. Delivers an MP9 to the hands of Jake, and probably want to pawn that off to someone with a little bit of a deeper health pool. Carrying the bomb as well. Lots of responsibility on Jake. Probably going to be throwing that one away.
But I do get a little worried when CT sides. I like aggression in these rounds. I like having an approach to these rounds. I don't like it when you push up on your own to this degree. Mr. Pickles has no friends at the moment with him.
Oh, can we
and even with such a great name, Alex,
it's so lovely.
This could be a little bit worrying.
Oh, here
now,
we go.
Let's see if it works out. They're kind of unawares, but Connor's a little further ahead than maybe you'd expect here. So Charlie's now put under pressure, and Pickles does not prevail.
Ooh, okay, so let's quickly recap Endpoint.
Where's the gun, boys?
You've lost 2 rifles, or excuse me, an SMG and a rifle, pushing up without the possibility of a trade. Yes, they don't have armor, but they still have the ability to put their crosshair on their head and shoot, especially if there's 3 or 4 of them en masse. They're capable players. They will get frags.
And Alex, look where these last 3 are. Now, if that door's open, I don't think it is open in underpass. That's at least a giveaway to maybe Cryptics if you can hear that. But they're split up again, and I really don't like it. I just want them to group up. Okay, maybe give up bomb plant. That'd be the worst thing that should happen. And then you just retake your fine, right? You're in full HP, you've got armor, you've got your rifles up, you're good. You don't need to allow opportunities to happen.
But you're in that lovely mindset that human beings have that I'm in a better position. I have a weapon, I have Kevlar, I can beat them. I'd rather take that fight. And of course, you know, when you get to this kind of level, you just can't take those fights, at least for free. This time, Jesp does get away with it. Connor down, and Windansky unarmored. Soon to be unlifed. That's right, made that one.
That's a good word.
I like that.
Is that from Dota?
I'm a freestyle rapper on my spare time.
And what's your name?
They call me Miss Chief. If I was female.
I do remember, so I made a nice picture of that. I think it was KB.
Yeah, it was on the wall in our office.
Yeah, it was lovely.
Oh, back in the day. This is fun. I haven't casted in so long.
No, that's cool.
It's nice to be back in the old casting stand. It's not a seat.
It's not a seat.
We don't have a seat. Yeah.
Nope. But we do have a buy round, Alex, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to see how this one goes down. Excel, I want to see some pace on it. I want to see something. Whoa, that could have been a disastrous start if that actually happened. He did miss. He backs away.
But I like it.
Still.
I like that Imi's doing that, immediately throwing off a warning shot. Suddenly, that T-Info play and underpass is completely hamstrung. You're not pushing on an AWP. If you are, you're mad or you're using your nades. Finding out now, though, you can see the bomb loose. The T-side are not planning on committing anywhere anytime soon. Instead, looking for a CT poking out.
I would say, though, at least they're approaching this with a default on this T-side. For now, they're not going to allow the CTs to push up for too much information if they do. They're going to fall away from Monster side. They're going to bring that bomb all the way back around, but I don't mind this. They've kept the CT side humble, even after that AWP approach. They're going to keep that one player, at least a couple of players, towards that underpass area, towards that water area, just so they can't quickly peek out for info and find out, what's the big plan here. Excel have a nice approach. They have a nice mentality to this. You can see the theory in place, but they still need to bang out the shots. They still need to make it count. And I'm waiting to see if anyone's willing from the CT side to walk into this.
Praise where it's due. The CTs, whilst also going for some early aggression, we did see them push up towards the toilets and party initially, but they've also managed to keep hold of the majority of their nades. This is great, considering there's 40 seconds left on the clock, and you can see the T's are still preparing for some degree. Now, this does look like some degree of a committal here, Len Pansy.
But I don't know why the other two are still over by water. And that's great, though. That's the information play that they were banking on happening. Excel are down to 20 seconds here, though, Alex. This needs to happen fast. They're throwing a fake. It's a huge fake. Look at where the bomb is right now. They need to get going, though. They've pulled the rotate. They've done well on this, but there's still one player there. It's on Imi. He needs to deliver.
14 seconds. Imi's doing the flashbang dance in bank. And now Boaster will get a free bomb play. He's faking it. 8 seconds left, and Boaster has the audacity to try and fake plant. Fortunately, it is going to render some reward. 2-man fall, 2 heads rolling for the Endpoint side, and now more to follow. Cryptics and Pickles have been tasked with the retake, and they are having absolutely none of it. They're out of here, and we will see the round go the way of XL. First buy round and first successful round as well. That was pretty spicy.
That fake.
What's he thinking? 8
Well,
seconds
it did
left.
throw out 2 players to literally try and come in. Like, it's...
He's a madman.
The risk
It would
reward
be
is...
the same if he was planting. They'd still be pulling out, right? Pushing out. But yeah, no, not going anywhere there. Don't want to start on that note. 4 rounds in.
Welcome back to casting,
It's
Alex.
so much fun. They put a microphone in front of my mouth and I get to talk about games.
It's surprising, isn't it? We're all surprised.
That's a freebie.
And yeah, a little bit of an exit, not too bad, but they still keep the 3 alive, which is important. They've got the bomb plant. They can spread the wealth. They can get a decent enough buy back in. But this is scary for a T side to leave it down to that sort of last couple of seconds, to be throwing a bit of a fake there. They were very dedicated to that, and they were kind of banking on the CTs playing into it, which to a degree they held their own. They had that very disciplined approach, it seemed, at least for now on Endpoint. They were very smart about it. They didn't just kind of quickly try and rotate once they saw that first bit of contact, but still, overall, very, very risky stuff.
So you're looking at the clock and it says 14 seconds, and they are players boosting in long. That is the reality that XL live in that round. But if you do quickly recap
Hold on, Boaster's cold.
Oh.
Boaster.
What's going on here?
Boaster.
What? He's taking it. Okay.
Oh.
He's wearing a hoodie without a t-shirt. What a freak.
Is he a madman?
Who does that? Wait.
What is this?
Okay, we need some serious analysis on this. He's got a what's the thought process?
It's a tactical timeout that he's currently put. That's what the timeout's for.
Why have you gone and done that? Put your hoodie over. Every other human being puts their hoodie over their t-shirt. That's the layer process that's been accepted by humanity.
Look, it's for the sponsors, Alex.
Oh,
you gotta.
That's why he's the player and we're the casters.
Exactly.
He's here for the
Branding.
sponsors.
He knows how to present himself on camera, Alex.
What do I?
Glad you're not wearing a wrinkled black shirt. I'm sticking to
Oh,
it, friend.
I respect that. Counter-Strike caster etiquette. Here we go, though. Boaster's got changed, and now we're ready to get back underway into our 5th round. And yes, indeed, it's weird. Pickles and Cryptics, of course, saving. They have managed to back him up with a couple of deagles, and we know the power of that $700 pistol. And as we prepare to walk into this one, Windansky will be doing the same. I think they're aware, though. XL, of course, have got a good read on the economy. They know there's 2 preserved rifles, and it does seem like Endpoint have made the executive decision to stack them together. Take a risk, roll the dice, and don't spread yourselves too thin instead, putting both of the armored CTs on the very site that they're about to hit.
Are we seeing like the Astralis hit coming through here? Are we seeing an orchestrated hit from a UK team on the T side? Charlie Pickles gets overrun. It's Connor delivering, and Boaster there to follow up as well. 2 players get demolished. They get the bomb site under wraps. Good Steve. Look at these smokes and mollies. They've actually got something going here,
Lauren,
Alex.
stop it, stop it.
I'm excited.
Far too excited. Not only did they kill 2 players, they pulled the rug from beneath them. That was the Kevlar, that was the M4. Completely dilapidated the defense. And now Jess, Mighty Max, and Imi are just having a chat like, so, how's your day? How have you been? What did you have for lunch?
Do you reckon they had breakfast?
Of course, we'll analyse the breakfast later, Lauren. Yeah, hold on.
We'll get Snods in.
Snods is the breakfast analyst.
It's true.
That would be quite a cool name, breakfast analyst. Moving into the Counter-Strike, though, Jess will manage to scavenge a rifle and scurry away for just a second before Jacob is going to be slapping him in the face with his Kalashnikov.
Alex, the jumper's paying off here, mate. We need to come back to this point. Now, we've got the breakfast analysis, but
I need to know the thread count. No, I need to know the thread count of that hoodie. You know, if it's anything over 100, we're looking at perhaps a violation.
Do you reckon?
Absolutely.
We need to get. Can we get the rulebook?
Can we get the hoodie rulebook delivered to the desk,
Thank
please?
you guys. Now that'd be very kind of you. But at 3-2 now, XL are back in the game. Now the pistol, it didn't go great for them. They actually had a clean sweep against them on the first round, which is never good. Your money always kind of suffers down the line. Made it a little costly throughout, catching Endpoint, being over-aggressive, being a little lackadaisical. But this is what you wanted, Alex. You get CT side aggression coupled with long as well. Imi not only going to party, he has the players almost baited in from that shot.
I like this.
Praying someone would dare try and take that out of his hand.
Notice as well, if you look at your eyes are drawn to the top left, they have 3 players ready for a fight towards them, and Max is going to get away with it. His partner in crime was a little too far away had he gone down, so the trading process wasn't quite Wall Street yet, but perhaps playground. Now then, Talking of playground, Max is still sticking around here. In the meantime, the bomb is starting to maneuver towards that B site. You can see Boaster and Connor. They're well aware of the power of that boost spot. You can see both eyes drawn towards it immediately. Instead, though, Cryptix has been given quite the serious responsibility. He will be the first port of call should the T's. They go for the execute again, Lauren. This is the same one. Keep your eyes on these mollies. This is going to be fun.
This time, though, we do have Imi and everyone else with guns here. You get the AWP addition, which is nice. He either has to commit or fall back fully, but Cryptix is there. He's spraying, and he's found a gap, and that's all you need. Charlie Pickle's still alive. He doesn't need the support. In the end, it's Imi to come through, but you can see the difference it makes to have a little bit more firepower in the right place at the right time. Couple that, supplement that with the aggression on Long. They already knew what was happening. They had those 3 players push up, 1 by Party, 2 by Long. Get the info, no one's there. You rotate instantly Imi off the back of that, get him on the site early, you set up Cryptix, you get Charlie Pickles, everyone's ready for what's coming their way. There's no surprises left.
Yeah, and as soon as those nades start raining in, the CTs that are not present on the bomb site, you just start walking through underpass and tell them it's real. You just simply say, real. Because now you know that those nades are going to be committed on. You are going to have bodies to spray, and Cryptix, a gap in the smoke, gifted him a 2 very quick and easy frags. Quick and easy, just like Lauren Pansy Scott.
Pardon?
Still, nades raining out. Let's find out how this one does go down. A couple of smokes. I like this, a little bit better. No Kevlar, and instead supplementing them with utility. Daddy Alex is happy.
Do you have to call yourself Daddy? Does no one else do that for you?
No, no one does that for me. It's a life I led.
I see why you're a host. Good luck at TI, by the way. Anyway, XL now down to 1 flash left on Windansky through the flash through the smoke. Not going to go. Actually did catch the guy on the other side pretty well. And it has drawn players over. You can see, I think it's Muddy Max there, but Jesper going to hear this all. He should be able to control it pretty well. He eventually gets overrun, but a nice trade out eventually. You lose 1 at the sake of pretty much winning the round. Windansky, though, somehow, how have you done this? Charlie, what's going on? Mr. Pickles.
He's going to be mad. And now the question is, can he get anything else? The door does swing open. They're well aware of what's going down in Chinatown, but it looks like Windansky's just going to be gifted this one. They have full control of the bomb. Their money is not fantastic to go hunting, and instead, Windansky can just chill out.
I'd hunt if I was him. If I can get a little closer, that'd be bloody brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, he can certainly go hunting. I'm talking about the CTs. They certainly are going to be unwilling, but he can just kind of apply as much pressure as he can.
If he can get that AWP away, that would be absolutely perfect. He's going to spot the jump peak. Oh, lovely touch of a tag, but it's not quite enough to take down him. So, all said and done, he might just be able to keep hold of this rifle here unless anyone overextends. It looks like Team Endpoint are just going to burrow down and hold the site here. No real threat to board. He does get pretty close.
What's the play here?
Let's try and get the AWP away. Let's try and get the gun away.
Some form of damage. They've got plenty of money in the bank. The AK was not necessarily important to them. Instead, though, just tagging up that AWP, not enough to take home any sort of reward. And so, we return to the scoreboard. It is 5-2 in favor of the CT's Endpoint. The analysts felt like this was going to go their way. Excel, so much on the line for them as well here. Should they concede, they will not be going to the playoffs. That is the reality that they live in. 0 wins on the board, a draw and 2 losses. They have yet to take a series in the 2-0 fashion.
But now look at this stack and aggression. This is lovely from Endpoint, showing some prowess on the CT side. A little bit of pressure down towards short on B. You've got 1 player towards underpass, showing presence, but then backing off it.
Have you noticed that they're like a little duo? It's Imi and Max. They previously pushed Party and Long respectively, and now look at them. The same 2. They're just like a partners in crime, a deadly, dastardly duo. And now they're looking to be deviants. Towards underpass. Door swings open, and that's for Imi. That was lovely. These guys are working together. The synergy is sexy. And they're going to be backing away from this one for now. Still, blood drawn, and that does tend to favor the T side.
And again, they haven't really committed anywhere else right now, XL. So, Endpoint don't really know that much. They don't have the full picture as to what's going on. A couple of plays in underpass literally gives you almost no idea as to where the real hit's going to come through. So you can see them preparing themselves. They're going to split 2-2 to either side until maybe they get a better picture of what's coming their way. But thus far, I do see Boaster still trying to maybe throw a bit of a curveball here. He could play late through underpass, maybe try and clear it out or catch it and trying to rotate on the back. They still have time left, but just not much to make the hit with. He's going to try and sell this. He might have to follow up with it, and he is. You can see him trying to sell this as best he can. Please, guys, believe I'm here. But what is that smoke, Boaster? Surely not going to work. No, Charlie with an off angle there. Delivers on the first. Second's going to follow. Pickles is locking it down. Monster's his. And we know who's the monster at the end of that tunnel, Alex.
We need to make a montage of Pickles just killing people from barrels. He has not been forced to move. Just
one molly would
One molly would have been fantastic, because that is the 3rd round, just from the top of my head, we've seen an 8 where Pickles has killed multiple targets as they walk up Monster. It was in the pistol, it was in the previous half buy, and now we find it here in the full.
sadly, in this round, I've got to say, for Excel's sake, they couldn't afford a molly. They barely had any utility. They were at full purchase. I think Windansky had no money left, and you can see that they have taken a big hit money-wise, so they're going to be down to very little playing forward in this. But that's how it goes. Now, they've kept the money relatively humble for Endpoint, considering the scoreline. It's not spiraled yet. They haven't had those consistent 3+ players alive yet, you know, on a regular basis, but it's starting to get there.
And it's an interesting discussion to start regarding not having enough money for utility, because it's so hard from a player's perspective to justify, you know, taking a Tech 9 or a UMP in favor of nades. But when you watch it from this perspective, you see the power that that would have had and what it would have been capable of. Imi, once again with the aggression this time, he turns his attention towards Putt, and this is a problem. He is in trouble. He's going to get pushed down by the Tech 9s, and that is a misunderstanding of the economy. Had he known, but then again, had they known. Look at this, XL are about to get crept on. Max coming from behind. It's where he likes it. Boaster is going to take the first. Now cautious of a second towards underpass, and the deagle is revealed. It's going to be Luzza who tries to put some pressure on. Excuse me, perhaps not No Connor. Let's go for an eye test. Now it looks like Mighty Max has a test of his own to pass. Where on earth was Jess? He was sitting out taking a drink from the fountain, and it has cost him another rifle for the CT side. Now an AWP in play. Windansky could go scavenging as well. And this isn't impossible for XL.
No.
It has. It's got it as well.
I really don't know how this is. Well, I know how it's coming like this. You go aggressive on those rounds and you don't play off each other, you tend to get punished. Again, I love CT-side aggression. I think it's brilliant in the right places, but they can just hold here. They can just make it hurt. And Luz is going to get a brilliant chance. If he holds his nerve, this could be a follow-up, and it is. It's down to 2v2, Alex. This is very real. This is very much a possibility. Now, the issue being, okay, Windansky has no armor. They've got no utility. It's just raw firepower. They get one shot to deliver this kill.
Now, if I'm XL, I know that Pickles is shackled to that B-bomb site. He rarely is going to leave that nest, and so turn my attention to Mr. Cryptix. He has got a Molotov, and that could delay things. Already smoke does lie in its path, and there goes the flames as well. Could be a little late, though, to that rotate. You can see Pickles is still cautious. He's well aware of the goofs and gaffs XL have pulled in the past.
Oh, that's an angle.
That's a Langle. Look at that. He gets the information, pulls away, and just one frag will be enough. And he's not going to get it. Windansky wins the duel. Cryptix unable to connect the bullets. And now 5 seconds left. Pickles is going to see that clock extended as he's late to that party. And now, talking of party, Windansky's on his way to that very location. He missed him.
Timing.
Timing is an itch. That's what they say.
But it's fine. They should be aware that there's a chance he's done this.
Oh my god, this is two timings in a row.
Both of them didn't see. He's going to find one. It's down to a 1v1. Luzza just needs to hold his nerve, and he's got a molly.
This is game, set, and match. There's no way that Luzza can lose this. Famous last words. He's holding it. Luzza just has to peek it with the AWP.
Luzza?
3, 2, Luzza! Thank you very much. Delivers the third just in the nick of time. Whew, 1 second on the clock, and Luzza gets his third. That, my friends, was all because of Imi's early AWP. He lost the AWP on that first frag with the Tech 9, and all of a sudden, 3 frags in a round delivered to XL.
You just don't need to do it on that round. I love CT side aggression. We'll go on about it every single time. AWPs being, you know, showing variety throughout games. Again, absolutely love it. But you go out solo on your own against that with no preset flashes to allow you to maybe make a quick play and fall back. You get overrun. They're going to instantly hound you down. As soon as an AWP comes into play, especially in the hands of even players with no armor, you can do so much with it. But into this one, Jesper's again pushed up quite aggressively. No other support system here, so he needs to be right on point. It's like that solo A player on Cobble, right? He finally has a bit of help here. Maybe you're going to come around. He's doing very nicely by himself. Needs to be careful on the timing going towards long. You could see him already worried, but with Imi falling, now there could be a quickening of pace here from the T side. Boaster working his way forward, and they're unaware of what they've done, but already Endpoint trying to scramble back here.
Okay. Jacob has been hamstrung somewhat. He's going to probably have to be the scout of the squad, gaining information for the cost of his life. That's the reality for him. Windansky's the one that's been given the responsibility on B, but Luzza catches Max on that search for information. It really is just a battle of information here in Counter-Strike. But Boaster damaged, but not down and out. Instead, it will be Jeff's to fall, and that will be the round as well. XL are starting to pick up pace. Looking good. Windansky with the double to end it as they start to rotate towards B. Eyes turned, and there he strikes Cobra from the bushes. Those bush cobras, Lauren, you've got to really watch out for them. Seriously. Every bush, you've got to be careful of those cobras.
Could be a cobra in the bush.
You never know. You really don't.
Yeah, that's...
I'm going to get a tweet from a cobra expert saying, actually, their habitat of choice is actually damp ground.
If someone could find out that and tweet Alex right now, that would be very, very happy. Cobras aside, bushes or not, let's see if XL can keep this clean. Playing out a default, got to be marginally careful that you don't get isolated and then kind of swarmed upon by the CTs. But the only man who's kind of allowing that to happen to any degree is Jacob. But you can see how kind of careful he's being anyway. He's very methodically working his way through, trying to bait out a response. It is a stack of a relatively sizable variety towards B again.
And I don't think there's any complaints from anyone regarding Endpoint's decision here to stack. The idea behind it is, of course, all or nothing. You have a chance. You give yourself a fighting chance should the T's arrive there. But should XL play this correctly, it's slow, it's methodical, it's default. And every frag goes traded. Cryptix is going to get caught out here. Does manage to do some degree of damage, but unfortunately for him and the long run of this game, that's an extra $600 for Connor with the Mac-10. Now Jacob goes hunting. Pickles tries to take a fight through the wall, and Jacob is happy to guide the fight this way. It's mid-range. It's an AK. One bullet will do the brain of Imi. A couple of them have head armor, but that's not going to mean anything for the AK, and Pickles does meet his demise, but well traded by the CTs.
Look at this bomb, though, Alex.
They're on their way.
Tricky. Jesp, if he gets to it at the right timing, might be. We just missed out on Poster running through, but he will be slightly ahead of the timing they expect. And now it's kind of surpassed anyway. But there was a real threat for a little bit of time, and Luzza needs to be careful again. He doesn't really expect someone to be in that corner already. So Jesp going to probably play for exits, which is the safer approach, and I honestly don't mind that. But if I was XL, I'd go through Monster because they've had control on it most of the time.
So yeah, Jesp's here just trying to take that AWP away, and he does get it. 3 consecutive bullets connect. That's not easy with the Deagle, especially in quick succession. Should he scavenge this? Oh, it's so scary. Everything
Did he just nade it away?
Wait, where is the AWP? Did he go backwards? Was that... I think that may very well... Yes, he did. Look, perhaps unintentionally, but Boaster's nade.
Nah, Boaster's a genius.
Yeah, full genius mode engaged, throwing the HE to stop any chances of that scavenged AWP. That was nearly 5 grand lying on the floor, and this time it will not be ending in Jesp's hands. Instead, though, they'll survive with their lives and a couple of pistols, a little bit of Kevlar thrown into the mix as well. But another one looking good, doing very little, though, in the grand scheme of things with their pistols. Still freaked out about this whole hoodie t-shirt thing.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. That'd be like putting your shoes on first, then putting your socks over your shoes.
Yes.
You ever done that, Lauren?
No. 6-5.
Let's see what Max can do with a single AK. Where do they put him?
Where is old Max?
Okay.
He's going to be the playmaker. The BDP is coming out.
And that's AK number 2. Should they want to push up, there a big risk involved in it though. Imi's going to take the fight and get away with it. What on earth is happening here? XL are getting torn apart by nothing. Just the scraps from Endpoint, and already they're managing to cut 2 down to size, and say that. Boaster still breathing, heart beating, 3 points of health left in the tank.
Currently though, he is the walking wounded, so again, 1 shot from any of the guns currently on hand. The team Endpoint will do the job, but they are going to try and consolidate, bring themselves back together, make that hit count. But there it is, Max in the right place at the right time, perfectly utilizing what he's got to hand, and he's not done yet. Luzza goes, and there it is. What a turnaround from Endpoint.
We said we had to deliver, and Santa Claus arrives. 3 presents delivered, and that will be a round they did not deserve. 1 AK, Lauren. That was all. Goes aggressive, and suddenly everything starts falling into place.
He's got the sack, ain't he?
That's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miller, happy birthday, mate.
Happy birthday, boss man.
No.
Double ups on the T side. Let's have a little looky-loo. Luzza and Windansky.
When were you in order, Windansky? I'm
About
ready.
to find out.
I'm ready. Show me what you're made of. Here we go.
My man.
What are you made of, my man?
Boaster first on the scene. Going to try and check if there is anything early towards the party. It's not foolish to do so. They have been there in the past, but this time nothing to be found. Instead, just a flashbang to the jaw. Now then, Jesp. You can hear the steps, but unable to get anything in his eyeline just yet. Instead, cowering in the corner. 4 players converging on his location. This is going to be a bloodfest. Just the one for him as Jake does get the necessary trade. And now Imi's on the retreat. He was punished in the past for turning his back to those players, but this time he will get away, and this angle is deadly. Talk to Fallen if you doubt me.
You just bring up your cast with Fallen again?
No, just...
Doesn't he have a t-shirt?
He plays that position very well.
Yeah?
Yeah, he basically keeps hold of toilets and long as one man, which is almost, it should be impossible. You should get either mollied out, naded out, or just trade wrecked. But it's incredible to see just how capable that man can be.
Not sure if we're quite on Fallen's level here yet for Endpoint, but there's yet to be seen. Maybe he's on the demos. He's having a look through, like those guys on Face It always do with you. They go through your demos and stuff. And Windansky, I questioned it earlier. Maybe not the double AWP we need just yet. Pickles again on the case. Jacob there called out, smoke in hand, never good. And the pressure starts to mount. Too much time has now dwindled, and Imi and everyone else just batten down the hatches. There is nothing coming through this round. It's Luzza with an AWP against 4 with 10 seconds, Alex. You know what? I don't see it happening.
Now, I know what you're wondering. What is the counter to double AWPs on T side? And the answer is CT's not peeking you. They gave them nothing. They were forced, basically, you had an AWP walking long, desperately trying to find some degree of like first blood, trying to find a way into the site. Endpoint, perhaps without even realizing just how well they were playing around it, by stopping first blood, by stopping that initial bleed from Excel, you get to see just how difficult it can look. You've got 3 AKs for a take on a site. It's not ideal. Windansky was left to hold B, and now we do see the boys in blue going aggressive. It's going to be Mighty Max. He's been rewarded in the past, but this time it's a big no-no. Luzza is the one to answer the call. This time, though, it is traded, and I'm worried about Imi. He's been pushed down in the past. A no-scope lands, but it's only going to take the knee. A bullet to the knee. And now Jacob, 15 points of health, but that's not going to stop him. He has all the nades in the world, and he'll be investing them as Jess makes himself a hidey hole.
Official wording. But look at what we found on the B site.
Yeah.
Windansky, he may not be an AWPer, but he's certainly found some ground to work this time. Pickles going to work his way through from CT. I love saying the word pickles, Alex, don't you?
Such a great word.
It's a roasted pickle right now, Alex.
Oh my god, I hate them roasted, and he does too, because Jacob is going to be eating him for lunch. Pickly lunch, that's how I like them. 8-5, as the metaphors and similes are getting out of hand here in London. And so is the Counter-Strike. This is starting to become a real game, gentlemen. Cryptix and Jess desperately just trying to make an impact somewhere, somehow. The timing could not be better. Windansky, the pull of the pin, and 2 bodies hit the deck. That will be Excel continuing to close things closer.
But this is an issue for Endpoint, and I guess credit more than anything to Excel for exploiting this, but this has been 2 rounds now where this has happened. They go aggressive on those rounds where they have the AWPs, they have everything they need. Don't show us roasted pickles to make us laugh again, all right? We just don't remind us of this, like the Cobra bushes. I started giggling about that midway through a round then, because I remembered it again.
The Cobra bush.
Yeah, infamous. But the point is that that's an issue for Endpoint they need to address, because so far beyond that, good pistol round, decent enough going into the gun rounds. This, for a UK CT side, as weird as it sounds, is actually pretty good. This kind of brings up a bit of a question, and Imi's going looking again, but Luzza, first to connect. Pickles this time will fall.
Delectable from Imi. Manages to take him through the wall. Luzza down, and already you can see that this is going to slow everything down. I say that, Imi just walked straight into the jaws of Jacob. No one had eyes on Party early. That's going to cost him. Could cost them more. A little bit of an aim reset from Jacob. I like the restraint there. Doesn't choose to commit to the spray. It's a risk, and often a risk that is not rewarded, but this time he does try and reset that crosshair and try again, this time to no avail. Now then, Cryptix once again roasting. He's not going to fall to the same fate of his comrade this time, though. And now the bomb is on its way. I like this patience. They're not willing to just jump in and try and get that bomb down ASAP. They want the control. They don't want to be caught out by a man in a corner. The only one currently in that circumstance is Cryptix. Here we go. 1 man left. They don't necessarily know where he's coming from. The smoke could aid his hide, and now we're going to see 2v1.
Every chance in the world. Still, though, a lot of utility on the T side. They've got volleys to put down. Little connection. He's going to find another. How has he been allowed to do this? Boaster, prepare yourself. You have got to clutch this out. The first touch of the bomb has brought Boaster back close, but he's not caught it. He's not buying this. And here we go. He's going to peek on this one. Cryptix again gets it. What are you doing? Cryptix, what is that? No! No, no, no.
Well,
was there a Cobra in the bush? What just happened?
And he probably just ran all the way.
Okay, so there was time.
There was time.
He had a kit.
He had a kit.
Pulled his knife out. Now, that is just a flat-out error. I think he may have jumped as well. It could just have been a straight mouse wheel mess-up. Either way, yeah, that's a bitter pill to swallow heading into the second half of our first map here. Best of 2 for the Gfinity Elite Series. The boys from the UK, whilst they could be and should be happy with that, talking previously about the poor CT sides that the UK teams, or rather these teams in particular, have had in the past, it does raise into question just how well this is going to go for Excel. It looks good on paper. It does look good on paper.
If this was any other matchup, taken away from what I've seen so far, and I'm not doing this just off of what people say, it's literally like last week I was over here and I've never seen anything like it before. It just falls apart.
Give me an example.
It went from like the most one-sided half I've ever seen, where maybe one team won 2 rounds, to going OT because it went on to that sort of side, right? It's those sort of games. Now, I did speak to Excel a little bit about their CT sides and their approach to it. They've said they put in work. And again, we get to see what Endpoint have on their T sides. But I think this is where you will see the disparity of this being Endpoint's map and the next one being Excel's. That's where I think we'll see that finally come into play. But I want to be wrong. I want to see a very competitive match. If that's the case, we've got a very good game on our hands.
Here we go, though. They've been shoveling coal into the Glock train, and it's on its way to the first station. And that station was Luzza. Down to 7. They continue holding hands, skipping merrily towards the site. And already Luzza's going to cut one down the side. It's traded, though. Pickles and Cryptics, a deadly, dastardly duo. And now Jacob's back in action. On towards Optimus, and doesn't seem to have to transform the round. Instead, Windansky takes Max out of the round already, though. 2 versus 2. And the CTs are worse for wear.
Bomb going to be recovered. Going to go down. Pickles on protection duty does fall off, but a quick hit comes out from Excel and Boaster overwhelms. It's down to Pickles now. The 1v2, it's all his.
Oh, his positioning is perfect for this one. They're going to come around pre-aiming. No, why on earth? 2 of them. And he's going to get Windansky as well. Surely one more bullet finds the head of Boaster. That was the first nail in the coffin. And Windansky, he's put 6 foot under. A 1 versus 2, and Pickles makes it look sweet. A sweet pickle. They taste nice on sandwiches. Have you ever had it piccalilli?
We were discussing piccalilli earlier, weren't we?
Why is it so
Am I going
yummy?
with them or what?
It's so yummy, though.
Where am I going?
Big fan with the shepherd's pie.
I'd rather just have some Branston. Or any other brand of pickle. Sponsors.
Also, Alex, king cobras live mainly in the rainforests and plains of India.
There are bushes in rainforests.
Southern China and Southeast Asia. But no one specifies their
Asian
bushes. Always up to something. Luzza, though, gonna strike first. Immy to fall, but it's already a 4v4 at this point. So Jacob gonna try and play something in off this, and I like that. Nice flash catches too. Plays into Luzza, but he can't deliver this time. Jacob gonna try and fall back from this. He's making them work for it at least, and I like that. A couple of flashes, a bit of an investment here and there, but it's down to the Deagles. And they're not going to sing this round.
Dude, Pickles is just ruthless.
Love a good pickle.
Connor, though, ooh, double tag. It's always so tough. He's going to open up that console. Or he would have, rather. But he would have seen just 6 points of health left on Pickles. It's not a dream scenario. Instead, his mission here is just to try and keep them on the bomb site. Hoping they can perhaps go hunting, perhaps they try and exit through that location. I don't think that's necessarily a decision they would make, but instead, Connor still keeping a couple on that side. This is respectable. CTs, yeah, you go, Max down, rifle down. They're going to have to try and find him. Connor, you spicy man now. Could take a 3rd hit. Pickles is dead as well. That, my friends, was perfect. No round, yes, but 4 frags. And that is going to be 1 for the record books. It looked like nothing, Lauren. No armor, just the deagle. He spends that $700 with very little in mind. And he's got a smirk on his face now.
He knows he did good. Look, it's like, yeah, just going to...
Yeah, not bad.
A little bit of eye contact to the camera. Like, so.
Give him a wink, maybe. Yeah. Finger guns.
That's Boaster's move. Here it is again. But it's costly as well. That's the important thing. Actually taken away from just purely how enjoyable. There's no win to come out of this for this round overall for Connor and the Excel side, but money is the main factor. You're going to see it hamper maybe Endpoint downline. That's 3 rifles costed. That's good stuff. This round not so important, of course. So Excel just going to go through the motions. They invested 1 P250, if I'm not mistaken, and that's actually going to deliver. That's paid for itself, as Cryptic though does come into his own with the Mac-10. So again, out of everything to be picking up the kills, you're always happy that it's on something like an SMG.
Nice little bit of a confidence boost from Excel, but of course unable to do anything with that round. You don't choose to invest into it, you don't expect much. Anything is a bonus, and Windansky getting 1 frag is plenty. Still, here comes the full buy. I'm very intrigued to know whether we see Luzza taking a leaf out of Imi's book. We saw him underpass, we saw him long, we saw him, where else we see him? We saw him on short. We saw them across the entire of the map, even in party, of course, as well. Now, Luzza looks to be going for that party peak, and that puts a smile on my face. Information early is the name of the game.
He's got Boaster kind of supporting him. Now, Boaster needs to play it very attentively, but that's a shot from Pickles. That? Gets tagged still. Smashes him down. That's second to none. At this point, Endpoint's doing really well. They've got players in a position like Cryptics can stay here and just cut off the rotate around the back while they slowly take over towards long control. All in all, they're in a really nice spot just because of that 1 kill.
I am so salty if I'm Luzza there. I've tagged him with an AWP on a perfect angle, long range, and that man's found my head. How has he done that? Pickles, outstanding work from him. He's got the nuke pin for a reason because his play here is explosive. 11-7 then. And oh, another problem. Another quick 2-tap of Cryptic's AK. And what? Pickles, you've only got 20 HP. You have to die someday, perhaps not. Defying the odds as he takes another. And this already looks like XL are going to have to accept the 12.
Pickles do have a long shelf life if they are indeed pickled, Alex.
I'm over with the pickles now.
I like the way James Bardov just looked at me like, yes. Yes. If he approves of my offhand comments, you know I'm doing good. Damn! 11-7 though, we are seeing somewhat of what I expected to see to a degree. I don't think we've seen the full extent of it yet. There's been a lot of individually very impressive moments from Endpoint, to be fair.
What's the difference between a pickle and a gherkin? Are they the same thing? Because they're all cucumbers, right?
Yeah. Maybe there's a different process behind it.
That was a freaky moment about a couple of years ago when I found out that there isn't like a gherkin or a pickle tree. Like I straight up just thought pickles grow on like a pickle bush and you go and pick a pickle.
How did you feel about raisins?
Peter Piper picks a peck of pickled peppers. Oh, pickles. They're pickles, aren't they? Wait, pickled peppers? I don't even know anymore. But all I'm saying is I thought pickles grow on trees. And they're just little cucumbers, aren't they? Freak me right out. Anyway, vegetables aside, we have some vegetables at the casting desk as well. It's 12-7. Let's have a little look if they can do anything with one flash. I expect this to go over towards that fountain. Max is having none of it, though.
Smoke, Alex. How dare you lie like this?
Why does it always rain on me? Let's have a little look where those nades do choose to rain. Whether or not they even have to use them. Endpoint here look to be rather reserved so far. Instead, just taking those fights, and Windansky does oblige. Quick headshot, he's down. Now forced to operate with 4. I like that they've got some degree of crossfire here, at least getting information, and Luzza will be able to call to his teammates. Boaster, that's fantastic work off the flashbang, and now another down. It's not about retrieving the rifle here, it's just about doing damage. Hell, if you win the round, that's a bonus, but not when Max is hitting shots like that. Good spray, and finds the head.
Head game on point. XL. I like the idea there, the kind of like crunch towards party. It's the best you're really going to try and get out of that. You know you're not going to win a round, or you shouldn't at least. You know.
It happens, it's Counter-Strike though.
Yeah, exactly. All that aside, it generally shouldn't happen. But this could get a little interesting if Connor's so low on HP, but that Deagle did some damage before. Oh my word, there's a chance again, but he stays alive. And Boaster and Luzza, I don't know what the plan is now, boys, but you've got to try and make something count.
That's beautiful. I don't even know if it's worth going for that AK. Wait for someone else to try and hunt it. Hope and pray that those 4 bullets do enough. Poster. I think Max may very well have been trying to get rid of that AK out of the map. Just trying to throw it onto the roof or something to that effect. Oh, he did it, yeah. There was no AK there. Nice work from Endpoint. Forward thinking. And we have the 13s. Just 3 around from the first map here. There was a lot of doubt surrounding XL's chances in this one on the analyst desk, and it does seem that they're starting to be realized on Overpass.
As said, I think this is one of the maps where if you're good on a CT side, you can push the boat quite far. I think that's something that's very, very apparent. That's where I hope that we'd start seeing maybe those improvements they were discussing and that they'd worked on. I don't think that's really come through for me yet. I think it has been quite rocky. There has been some individuals who've kind of ruined that approach for them. They haven't had it. Now the money's starting to stabilize and become even better for Endpoint. You've got a couple players on 7, 8K, which is, that gets worrying because that can drop out. You're starting to grind through the game to that point where your money becomes almost not an object. You're so far along that really XL just need a round.
And in
they
turn,
don't really care about your money.
More risks are taken,
Exactly.
and that's what's so scary. Just on the topic as well, I do think that whilst you don't see too much evidence of XL changing their CT side, it is refreshing that they're trying things. I mean, you can't really account for when Pickles is going to get tagged by an AWP and still find your head. That's an angle that a rifle should never win. But he's spectacular. He's having a game of his life currently.
Absolutely.
And he's bringing home the rounds for his team. Endpoint looking good.
Yeah, I'd never expect a 180 turn of improvement from one week to another when you're trying to just change your approach of CT side. It's just, I was hoping a little bit more.
Like a baby cobra.
Why are you so into snakes? Danger noodles.
That's a lovely name for them. Yeah. It's like trash pandas.
It's great, isn't it?
I like internet. I like the internet.
We are little internet people.
Yeah, we don't really come out of the house unless there's cameras and games to be played.
It's a weird sort of defining point as to why
we leave our little gaming dens and
hobble out.
Yeah. Go through a Wallace and Gromit style clothing machine.
Yeah, I think I did
mine was
back
broken this morning. Here we go. It's going to be the first blood. Who else but Pickles? It's a very balsamic pickle. It's a little savoury to the taste. and this time he's bringing the spice. Max takes the head off Boaster. He won't be boasting about that for long, though, because here comes another Endpoint round. Not a single player down yet, and already the bomb is going to be following suit. Now then, Windansky and Connor. Backs against the wall, quite literally here, and nothing they can do but sit and hope for an outrageous error. Saving is starting to become a little bit of a too familiar prospect. You sit there and you go, you kind of realize I have to do this. Like, for the game, I have to go ahead and sit here and wait and accept that this is the 14th round. But it's difficult. Your comms are happening, there's chaos, perhaps some insults or some blame is being thrown around.
Never happens in the UK scene, Alex.
It's like it happens in our Face-It games, Lauren.
Don't know what you mean. We have the best approach. The point being, at 14-7 now, Excel have run out of options, I feel. They haven't really started to feel it. And you look on the other side, Endpoint, tactically fine. We haven't seen actually much of them kind of falling back to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
For me, it's more the fact that they are banging out shots and they can depend on it. If you're feeling it, if you're just feeling the game, if you're able to take fights with an AWPer again that Charlie Pickles did and win it 2 times, why not keep doing it? And that's unquantifiable. That's that you can't hard counter that. Because he was even holding a more passive angle. He was back in toilets this time.
And there is beauty in that as well. Like, there is beauty in the fact that Counter-Strike can be so intricate, so complex, so deep at times, but also sometimes it's just want to play the game, run out, get headshots. And look at Pickles go. How on earth? He walked halfway towards toilets, fully flashed, doing the flashbang dance. And Jacob, he's going to be dancing as well. Gets one. And gets an opportunity now for more. You can see Luzza's going to be the one to finish that one off. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered. 2 for Jacob, 3 for Luzza. And 5 bodies hit the deck. Some scavenged weapons as well. And that was more fingers pointing towards Endpoint. Such a audacious... They pushed through flashes and smokes with no real structure. And
this is something you used to say about, you know, your Fanatics, and I don't want to put these in the same category as that, if I'm honest, but it's more that you look at the way Endpoint were playing, they're just playing off confidence, just playing, you know, kind of like a very aggressive, you know, almost non-respect style. You have to humble that, and then you should see the full depth that Endpoint can go to. Yeah. Until then, Excel have to work on that, and they're doing it so far. Look at this push coming in as well. We've got to play very, very far up, and I'm pretty sure that's Boaster.
This is nice because this is kind of a prime off angle because you know that they're not going to... But by this point, they're going to start looking towards Party.
Cryptix could mess this up, but I think there's a player in place to keep that in check. That'd be Jacob. Now, Luzza needs to be careful. He's the one who's meant to be having this angle safe, and he didn't, but he still lands the follow-up towards Pickles, sure. But I don't know how that player kind of pushed up that far without him catching that.
You called him Cryptix. It sounds like an off-brand packet of crisps. Mum, I want Cryptix.
Mum takes me to Poundland, all right, Alex? That's all she can afford.
Anyway, here comes some headshots. You know it's going to be Jesp to deliver. Jacob down. The double Js are about to have a victor. Connor back out towards Graffiti now, towards that L bend. And it's AWP AK, and he's got some balls on him, Jesp. Just relentlessly challenging him out.
He has no armor.
And he's taking fights like that. Where is your Kevlar, young man? He's half naked and he's running around the map doing damage. Still, taking their time with this plant. They don't want to be caught off guard by someone lurking towards water. Instead, though, you see fantastic work from them. He is, however, going to get cut down. It's Windansky to do the chopping.
How much money did Jesp have? I'm curious about it. Oh my god, what have you done, Jesp? Oh no! And Cryptix, not going to do anything. And what the hell was that? How did you forget to buy armor?
We've all been there. At one point or another, that is... I mean...
I was DMG at the time.
It's not necessarily game-defining.
It's not great, though, is it?
It's not great, though. It's something that he's probably very quiet about right now. Should they do a game review, perhaps with the stream, or perhaps just from that demo? There may be a conversation. Hey, bro, you had 5K. Armor is 1.
It's quite cheap.
It's really effective as well.
Yes, it's all right.
For any of you, we do have newer viewers as well, just to explain as the importance of that Kevlar. Oh dear. Mollies like that, if you're a newer viewer, are not ideal. But also, in regard to Kevlar, aim punch is something to consider. If you ever hear aim punch mentioned, it simply means that your camera, your crosshair, everything will flinch. And that does make it very difficult to hit the corresponding shots. Head armor and body armor, of course, separate. Still, we're back into the fray and looking to hunt that double digits now. XXL looking for the 10th.
No. No.
Jesp, are you actually insane? Is this a...
This is
he hasn't got Kevlar. Maybe it's a bug. It must be a bug. It's not a thing.
No, I'm going to cast around like it's fine because so far they're still winning. because Cryptix is landing the shots. Connor's gone down. We're down to the double ops left standing, which is always going to be pretty problematic if you're trying to play retake. But that bomb is yet to cross. Good timing on the flash and the molly hinders the angle. So the bomb's going to go down.
Good boost. I like this a lot. Of course, the one problem is, you heard it, Jasp, the unarmored beast, strikes again.
Why do you like this, Jasp?
I just don't understand why. Why on earth this is occurring? He's got money, he's got rounds, he's even got frags. Maybe, just maybe, he's playing the long game. 4K.
He's top fragging. UKCS, top fragger, doesn't need armor.
Has he been doing this before we noticed it?
Do you reckon it's the next level play?
He's hitting shots so consistently.
He believes.
Wait, you're nodding. This is actually a thing. No, okay, he's forgot.
God.
I thought SEO was telling us he had some like mad meta where he's so confident in his shot. This doesn't take Kevlar. Okay.
I need to take a round with Jess. Can you watch him at the start to watch him not buy armor again?
Let's see his buying.
Press 3.
Here it comes.
He's done it!
Yes, round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
A nice slow clap.
Jasper's bought Kevlar. That's the play we were looking for.
Jesus Christ.
It's a step in the right direction.
UKCS, one step at a time, Alex.
Hey, dude, we're walking.
We've gone from crawling to walking, and Jesp has armor. We are proud, we are ready. Let's see if we can put it to good use.
This is where he just takes an AWP bullet to the noggin. I thought it was going to, but no, Imi does draw first blood. I love this. Look at this, a sudden flurry of aggression. They get that first blood and they try and profit from it. Slow those rotates down. They haven't got a chance to get onto the sites now. Wendansky using as much of his nades as he possibly can while he does continue to get hunted. And that could cost him. No, the flashbang saves his life. And he's allowed to take one down. In the meantime, Connor stabs his buddy in the back, saves his life, and then takes it from him. He is indeed the giver of death. Pickles. Nades for days, but no health to work with. It's just going to be Imi then who has to try and make the plays, but fantastic flashes. This has been the story of the round, really. And Imi's still making it work. Makes that AWP sing. They've got 5 points of health between them. Luzza, an M4 and a Dream, but no kit. Here we go. Has to be quick with this one, and Imi's already down. Now looking for another one. Pickles falls as well, and he's got time. This, my friends, is XL picking up their 10th. They've been hunting for it for a while, but there it goes.
Can we just check in with the money once he pulls off this diffuse for the CT side? Because I think it's going to be pretty shaky. Yeah, not ideal. And now, as we know, Jesp's new meta being that you don't invest armor in all rounds, just some. He should have a little bit of cash left over. But no, this is a bit problematic, of course, for a CT side. If you don't win in a consecutive manner, you're always going to be struggling for cash. It's always going to be a little bit rocky, and they had one player left standing in that. So let's see what they can kind of bolster together. In this, they still got a decent buy. It's not ideal. You're missing out on some bits of utility. You know, Boaster's obviously suffering a little here, but on the other side, you're still seeing a good purchase coming out from Endpoint. So that's the kind of disparity we're at. But the point being, they just need rounds XL. OT is the only option they've got at the moment.
I'm not sure if that Molotov that they're using is working. Can we quickly press 9 if it's possible? Sorry, I just want to see on short. Okay, maybe a bit late, but he was standing there the whole time, and that's a short Molotov. We'll keep our eyes on that one. Should he throw it again? They've been kind of having trouble with that, but it's a fantastic one to stop early aggression from the CTs, at least towards that mid area. And able to take some long control.
You almost feel for Boaster in a way. He's the one who's only got the 570. He might have had a fair amount to handle, especially if they keep falling back to this. But if he times it right, because he'll be confident, right? You've only got a pistol, you don't have much to lose. You kind of make these plays happen, which he's doing. So this takes the pressure off of him, and it's all about timing now. But someone's keeping this in mind, and it was Charlie Pickles, but Pickles stands no longer. Boaster backs away. Smart move as well. He now readies the rest of his team. Jacob right on the edge there. Gets overwhelmed. It's Mighty Max to come up with the goods, but Luzza is there, and he is ready and waiting. And not only that, but delivering on the front.
That's all you need, really. Message delivered. Luzza puts a big stop sign outside of the A bomb site. And Jasp and Cryptic seem to be understanding for a moment. It's going to be a challenge from Boaster. It's completely justified as well. Just the pistol with him, wanting to try and do as much damage as possible. Let's not forget that Endpoint, should they start losing rounds back to back, of course, as they battle on for match point, losing these rifles or taking them away from the CTs is very profitable. Suddenly, this could very well become a reality. Cryptix has to end it now. He has an opportunity, 13 seconds.
He doesn't have the bomb yet.
And the bomb is in his grasp. Wendansky's going to push him down, though. Looked unlikely. Close, but no cigar.
He forgot. Well, he didn't forget, but he didn't pick up the bomb on the first time going there. I think he thought the bomb was down on top of the truck there. A bit of a shame.
A fake something, trying to draw out Wendansky. That was probably his thought process, but
I think he just missed the bomb.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Wendansky's happy with that one. He's like, yeah, Nailed it, boys. They've broken the money a little bit from Endpoint here. Now, I like the way Endpoint have done this, though. They've gone on the investment, and that's fine. You're on 15 to 11. I guess you push yourself out there. You know the buy's going to be shoddy from Excel. But they still have good utility. They've forgone buying into UMPs and such, just to purely get those molly smokes, flashes, so they can set up a piece here. I'm kind of hoping it's that nice B hit. We haven't seen them out of them yet, but they should have that in their pocket.
It would be something nice to see, something we saw working, of course, when Excel were on that T side. A successful T side at that. They've only managed to kind of acquire 4 rounds currently on this defensive side. Let's see if Endpoint can do something similar. They have the nades necessary, but it's Luzza that they have to surpass. He's been hitting shots daily. Nice bait, though. They get some information for free, and that's a shot perhaps Luzza could have connected instead, though. Information gathered, and now the nades rain in, trying to force him out of position. Still getting baited out. Pickles is being rather mischievous, and now Luzza's in the open. He managed to take one with it. That's not bad. No complaints here as Boaster's going to go shopping, and he comes home with a double. Yeah,
the double stack on long, they didn't expect it. That played him very well to the hand, whether they meant it or not, or they just kind of got caught in that sort of position. It paid off well. And again, I like the intent from the T side. You could see what they wanted to do with it. You could see they were drawing them close. It just came down to, oh, we just didn't quite hit our shots. But okay, we didn't expect the double stack on long. They still got very close to the door. Now, this is going to take an interesting turn here. We've got a timeout coming in. Time to discuss, take a little bit of the pressure away, and let it marinate upon the other side. Because, well, let's be honest here. Excel aren't exactly in the best position overall. They are kind of building back into this. They are starting to get themselves back in the game. But it has been a rocky road. It hasn't been a smooth sail for them. And for Endpoint, you just want to relax a little, take a step back. You've got 15. Sure. It's just that final push.
But take a journey into Endpoint's minds now as well. You're well aware of how we work as humans. You get to that 15. You get to advantage in tennis. You get to that point, you're like, okay, one more point. And that sometimes can be your downfall. It's something that a lot of players can have trouble with.
Alex,
is that
Lurpis doesn't agree with this. Motion doesn't come into games.
Oh, absolutely not, no. Yeah, we're all robots. We're all robots. And it's exclusively about putting crosshairs on heads, nothing else at all.
That's all the game is, Alex.
No. But still, outside of dank memes, what is important here is that this timeout does not linger. Endpoint just want to try and keep themselves complete. Like, let's not start doing anything fancy. Let's not try and change everything. This is simply just a question of identifying trends, identifying what they've done in the past that worked.
Yeah, because money's going to be interesting now.
Yes. They probably get 1, if not 2, real shots at this.
Uno Immo.
Uno
Good
Immo.
shot.
One good shot.
But that's all they need.
A bomb plant would be lovely.
See, that's the thing. If they have a successful round, even just taking guns away and saving a couple, or the small bits of damage you could achieve, that could then become maybe 2 good rounds to give it a go with. But you don't have many. 15 to 12. The next couple of moments are incredibly defining, and they're just praying, begging that Excel go walkabouts.
Excel's entire round here hinges on not giving easy frags away. You've got Molotovs for days. You have smokes, you have HEs, use them.
Why is Windansky committed to this angle? I don't like him this deep into it. He can't back away. Jeff's going to find it. He can get the gun away, and that's fine. That's why I didn't like it. I don't know why he's committed to that sort of thing. And now look at the pressure. This could be where it ends, Alex.
This is chaos. It shouldn't be working, but it is. The story of Counter-Strike. 3 versus 3, then Jacob tries to pull some sanity back alongside Luzza, but look at Cryptix. He is about to cause absolute havoc. Jacob turns just in the nick of time. He has just a fraction of health, but it's enough to operate. 2 frags from Jacob as he tries to save the day. He's got his red cloak on and now flying to try and defuse this bomb. Jesp and Pickles left with the responsibility of defending it. Time ticking away. There's plenty of kits.
They've got to go.
Plenty of angles. They're starting to push in, but Jesp's already caused havoc. Surely not. Of all the rounds to lose, Excel, they've started to forge a comeback, but now it could be taken away from them. Looks like Poster's going to do enough. Yes, he does. Saves the day, and Excel continue. A sigh of relief collectively across London as they do continue to fight on here. It looked scary, Lauren. Squeaky bum time is what you call that.
That is what I'd call it. What is that play, though? That play on B was just... It was pretty appalling. Windansky's in an untradeable spot, for one, where you can recover your gun. You can't fall back from it. I don't like it in those rounds. Do it in a gun round. Do it in those ones where it's worth the reward of getting that kill. It's not worth it in these. Now the boys come back in. We've got a good purchase here from Endpoint. This is the round they want to kind of put that dagger in the back. They want to get it done. Remove that hope away from Excel. Because Excel is going to start feeling it, but you're also under that pressure yourself. You're starting to feel confident because, yeah, you won that one. Every time you do this, you're putting that pressure right back on to Endpoint. But Still, slower start now for Endpoint. Default throughout the map. Nothing given away, nothing really shown. They're keeping this one very, very humble, very, very quiet, because they have utility for days. I want to see them use it as this really nice collective hit.
First question. Information exchange. I love that. Just a little nod as he jumps up, just like, I see you, you see me. Nothing more gained or lost. Perhaps extra utility invested, though. I like that.
I really want this to be the B hit. One, because we've actually got a 3-man stack over
face.
here.
Yeah, they showed face previously.
Now, if Imi gets this pick, if they get that first pick, it's go. They just quicken the pace and they get in there. Windansky needs to be aboard. He's seen a foot. He's got to have seen enough there. You might see a response pretty soon. He's ready for this, though. Great work from Windansky, but Imi's still traded, but he will not be moved. That's 3 kills. That's so integral. And now let's look where the remaining players are. We've got Mighty Max still holding the rotate. He keeps options open, but there's 30 seconds. If they want it, he goes in first. He has to bulldoze his way through this site, or it's done.
One advantage of trying to do what Endpoint did there is you get situations like this. Yes, you just got decimated by Windansky, but still you have 30 seconds to operate. And Boaster, once again, strikes from long. It's where the majority of his defensive frags have come from, and now we are going to be seeing the save. Cryptix is going to be forced to just hold on to this AK and pray.
And with that timing, Boaster put himself in that position is so unexpected. You've already showed so much presence on the other side. You don't expect a player to be sat in that corner over by long, especially
they're coming from bank. They're coming.
Exactly. You're worried about everywhere else. You're worried about the bin. You're worried about
underpass.
The truck.
Yeah.
Exactly. You just got to push it. So again, nice work from Boaster to put himself there, but that was Windansky. He saw just that little bit of leg. You saw him adjust. And he's got, I think he had a player with him supporting him. So again, splitting the attention either side. But now this is scary time for Endpoint. This is where you kind of find out what you're made of. When it all comes down to moments like this, you either just close out the game, you're done, you just go, yeah, that was a bit close, don't worry about it. Well, it suddenly becomes an issue.
Do you know what I'm starting to miss? I'm starting to miss saying one man's name in particular on that T side. We have not been talking too much about Pickles after his initial fantastic performance. Of course, plenty of men around him. However, just 1 or 2 of those spectacular entry frags. You can see he's trying for them. This time, Luzza seems to have wised up to him, tags him up, and makes the rest of this round very difficult for this spectacular fragger.
He's trying it, isn't he? But this is all but a ruse, a clever ruse at that as well. It's worked. Excelis pulled off the site, but the boost could be in time. He spots it all. Connor's seen enough. But has he seen the bomb? I'm not sure. But they still need to make the rotate, and Pickles is still in a good position. He can make this uncomfortable. This is incredibly tense now.
Oh, Pickles is doing enough to keep at least 1 or 2 CTs busy, but now the bomb's going to be going down, and this looks like it could be the end, or not. Boaster, first to draw blood. This is the start. Still 9 players in the server, and it's either OT or Endpoint wiping the sweat from their brow. Let's find out. Time ticking away then. Mighty Max digging his heels in deep as the nades do start to rain out. Anti-flash is good, but not quite good enough to fully evade it. The CTs are taking their time. They've got nades. They have an opportunity here. They do have the kits. Here they come. All in one big blue wave, and it's going to be a wave goodbye for 2 of them. Nice work from Endpoint. Cryptix is the one to take 2, and that, my friends, is it. Endpoint take it 16-14, and it should, in their mind, have been over a whole lot sooner. XL truly managing to push that to the very limit, the precipice of overtime, but unable to convert it.
Yeah, that was an incredibly close matchup, all said and done. You've got to give credit where it's due. They fought hard to come back there. You saw some great plays coming out throughout everyone on the server. Windansky being able to deliver a fair amount as well. But overall, I think it was just a good game. But I've got to say, for you, who's your standout player?
I think just because of the amount of absurd jokes I made of him, and because he hit shots that I would have been furious about if I was Luzza,
yeah,
I'm going for Pickles. I mean, they pick up the win, which is, of course, easier to find an MVP, but I think it would be hard not to mention some players from XL as well, because everything started to come into place in that second half.
Very true. Now, I do imagine the analysis desk does have a lot to say about this one, so we're going to head back there now. Allow them to break this one down for you guys at home, so do stay tuned. We'll be back in a sec.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Machine. Just to let you know, though, Machine, cobras live in tropical areas, bushes, yes, but also they live in deserts, farmland, grasslands, and forests. So,
grasslands.
Yeah, grasslands. So straight back at you. Love it. Listen, we will take a break right now. Congratulations to Endpoint, who win the first map. We'll be back in a second for some more analysis. So welcome back to the Gfinity Elite Series, week 4, where we've got the UK teams, Team Endpoint taking on XL on the map Overpass. It finished 16-14 in the end. XL pulling it all the way back, as Machine had said, to the precipice of the of the game. But yes, loads of kills in this match. Pickles doing the damage at the end there with the Deagles. Great match there, gentlemen. SEO and James joining me on the panel. What are the highlights? What are the lowlights? What can we talk about from that map?
I mean, you mentioned lowlights.
Yeah.
Jesp didn't buy armor a few times.
Now, it's interesting that was mentioned from Pansy and Machine. What is that a tactic? Is it a sensible tactic? Is it a forgetful tactic?
I think it's more forgetful than anything. Obviously, like, he at the moment, you kind of forget to buy armor. It happened a few times during week 1 and 2 with Jesp specifically. He didn't buy armor sometimes. I suppose it kind of happens, just it's kind of horrible to see. Yeah, and there's no logic in that. There's just really, forgetting to buy. Oh, we've all been there, right? James, when you forget to buy things?
Yeah, yesterday I forgot to buy anything. Ran out with a Glock and no Kevlar, so that was interesting.
That's the way you roll.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, why not? We saw some nice stuff there from Endpoint. I thought the score was going to be a lot more dominant than it was. Their first half was pretty cool. We saw some nice executes towards the B bomb site, but as you can see, there was a gap in that smoke, which is something they need to fix. You know, the execute was cool. The Molotovs deep towards CT were nice as well, but you don't want to have gaps in your smoke like that. Pickles was strong on the B bomb site as well. He was pretty good throughout the match, and in going into the second half, there was one round where they just charged A and just out-aimed everybody. Even with 20 HP, the man is still very dangerous. There was an interesting round though, where Connor only had a Deagle and managed to get 4 kills. But
that was incredible. That it was all over by the time he got those kills.
Yeah, but if you look at the last kill, I mean, it was too late to win the round. He can't escape the bomb, but Pickles is speaking with 6 health from the toilets when he should be running away and saving. Because he just backed off behind the wall, he sees that the diffuser's not coming in there, but he's dying for no reason. So, I mean, it didn't impact them in this match, but in a different match, that can...
Financially,
you know,
it would have...
It can be a snowball that turns into an avalanche, which technically doesn't happen. But.
Yeah. I mean, Pickles was fantastic for Endpoint. His stats were great in that match. There were moments when he was very evidently in the game and dominating at the beginning. They went a bit quiet, and then at the end, wins it for Endpoint.
Yeah, I thought it was similar to Mick, but I think it was 2 weeks
infused.
ago. Yeah, he was a very strong first half. You know, in this case, it was at barrels. He was just popping up, just headshotting them. I was using 26%. That's using the actual bullet percentage as well. So that's 26% of his bullets will go to the head. So that's a very high percentage. So like, it happens sometimes you kind of start like really hot and then it kind of cool off a bit. Yeah. It's just how
is that politeness? Is that politeness for your other team to get some good stats? Is that what they do? You just take the foot off the gas a little bit?
It could be argued. I think Quicks was arguing it earlier.
Yes, of course. Now listen, looking at Endpoint, they take such a substantial lead. They look comfortable. They do this to us every single week. How and why is this happening?
It's a mixture of things, really. Like, you could argue complacency, like you hit match point and then you kind of like foot off the pedal. You're just like, yeah, we'll win at some point. But I mentioned it to you, in fact, like we've seen them go into overtime each time they win. So it's kind of an endurance test maybe in their minds. So it's not a very healthy thing.
Some teams can struggle to close matches out, but if they're closing the matches and not eventually losing them, then at least that's something. But it's something to work on over time and look at, you know, maybe their opponent plays better when they're under pressure, when they're against match point and so on. So it can be a number of things. It can be the other teams stepping up when they need to, but if it's consistent against different opponents, then perhaps it's something they need to look at themselves.
Just being a bit more ruthless, clinical, seeing off that team. Let's talk about map 2, which we've got coming up, Inferno. The key areas that we sort of discussed are going to happen are Banana, is that right?
Well, generally on Inferno, if you look at it from the CT point of view, on new Inferno, Banana is more difficult to hold. It's more dangerous for the CTs. It's harder there's more risk involved for the CTs to be aggressive in general, be it Banana, be it in apartments. So that's going to be a focus to see how these teams deal with it. This is the pick of XL, so curious to see if Endpoint are going to be prepared to defend on the Banana area. But ideally, you know, towards mid, you want to push the CTs back so they have minimal information, so they can't rotate that third man to the site where it's needed when a push comes in.
So I want your predictions now. XL came back into that. They might have a bit of sort of impetus and a lot of energy going with them at the moment. Do you see them getting this and making it a 1-0?
I think it'll definitely be a close game again, possibly an overtime thriller, but I'm honestly going to go with XL here. They wanted to pick Inferno last week and it didn't happen. I feel like they're quite prepared for it. And Endpoint, we're not expecting Inferno to be picked here. So I'm thinking XL.
And James, you going to go with the grain or against the grain?
I was actually going to make my own pick this time instead of copying his, but it is the same pick. I'm going with...
No, I don't believe it. Why?
I'm going with XL because if they're picking Inferno, then I think they're going to be ready to defend. I mean, for me, that's a question mark with Endpoint. We'll find out if they are, but it's not much to go on. But I don't normally make predictions, so you're getting a lot out of me in this respect.
Wow, I appreciate that.
So I'm going with XL.
Okay, 2 XLs there. Okay, I'm going to swing round delightfully and very easily. Look at that. That happened. That wasn't as smooth as last week, though.
Do
you know what it is? I'm too close to the desk.
Do a full 360?
It's going to happen. I can do this.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen. There we go. So, guys, seriously, talk to me about map 2, Inferno. You've heard it from the boys, James and Dizzy now. What do you reckon for this? Who are you going to go for?
Well, I mean, I have inside info. I was speaking to SEO and he was telling us that Inferno was a curveball thrown in by XL, and that just excites me just by the fact that Endpoint were not expecting to be playing Inferno today, and I'm a sucker for I was about to say a third map. Best of twos, Alex, but I'm a sucker for Underdog anyway.
And what about yourself, Pansy?
Yeah, I'm going with XL on this one. They showed a lot of promise and a lot of improvement that we saw throughout on the first map, and I'm hoping it applied to the second. But again, a lot of the individuals turned up there, Alex, so things could definitely be a lot closer than expected.
Yeah, and hopefully Windansky stays in the right position. I heard you saying that a few times, Pansy. So, yeah, so hopefully he does that. Guys, I'll pass it over to you. Looking forward to map 2.
No, thank you very much. Yeah, I always love Inferno anyway, Alex, and you know that I do. It's one of my favorites. We get to see some of the best parts of CS, I feel, on this one.
It's a sexy remade version of one of Counter-Strike's staple maps. Fantastic to watch, as well as you can see the T's navigate through smoke, Molotov, and a variety of mixed bag executes. You can see them taking slow map control, creeping through the apartments. Banana, you see it on your screens, and then suddenly the high octane Counter-Strike hits you. You have that kind of, nosebleed Counter-Strike just sprinting at your opponents. It has a bit of everything in the bomb site A. Its new boxes have led to some scary headshot angles and a whole lot of checking those corners. That one in particular on the far right side.
Yeah, there's a lot that can come through on this. So I just want to see how it all kind of comes through. Now we've seen good points for both sides. Yeah. Both teams have shown some real promise here. They've shown some real potential. Throughout on Overpass, we saw that CT-sided aggression that you asked for. You wanted to see it, and we saw it. We saw it going well, and we saw Charlie Pickles able to do some serious damage back to anyone trying to do that. Alex, stop. Get.
I look so tall next to you. Oh, it's so fun talking down on someone for a change. I'm always the kind of hey man, nice to meet you kind of person.
Yeah, Yanko's quite a tall guy, isn't he?
Henry's like a 6-foot beanpole of Counter-Strike knowledge.
A 6-foot
knowledgeable beanpoles.
Knowledgeable beam.
Not actually the beans, the poles that hold
the pole
beans.
itself.
Yeah.
So he's a supporting structure.
And actually, I'd describe Boaster as the bean pole of the boys of XL. He supports them.
Is it a physical
he helps
thing
nurture
or is it
their growth. No, not fit. No need to go there. He's simply supporting them when they start to look limp, as beans do occasionally.
He gets them.
He supports them. He helps nurture their growth as they continue to battle for survival in the Elite Series, because that's what they're doing. Yes, indeed. XL, they were unable to pick up the first map, and they were just battling for survival at this point. Yet to pick up a full series win, and this one is no exception. Simply splitting a series with Method was the only slight light at the end of a rather dark Counter-Strike tunnel, and we're about to venture once again into the breach. Dear friends, it's Endpoint and XL. Double E, exciting, extravagant. Let's find it out. It's Endpoint and XL clashing on Inferno.
That was quite nice, Alex.
Cheers. Cool. They won the knife, and they're going to be choosing to start on the defensive side, if I heard the man in my ear correctly.
Voices in my head
CT on Inferno.
The same thing.
Yeah. They're doing the best of
Boaster. Why do you have 800 left boat?
Yeah, no, I go AFK in competitive matches too. Okay, here we go. He was hyping him up. He was being a beanpole. That's what he was doing.
Being the beanpole. Now, this is a classic piece here, Alex. Is this the swing through apps and run back down, or,
I hope so.
Do we have a little bit of a late lurk there from Windansky? We'll see. As the T's do set up, and they could be zerging out of there, and they might have just enough minerals to make it, Alex.
But look at Windansky, still at T-ramp. Hopefully he can catch up, but we'll find out.
Eyes on Jacob here, really. Like, Windansky's doing a great job just keeping people present over by B for a small amount of time, but the play gets set into pace by Jacob. He puts up the flash, puts up the smoke, and then follows with the 2 flashes. That should allow them out through apps.
Oh, I love it.
This is a classic. This has been done years and years. The flash doesn't quite find Charlie Pickles. He's been unleashed.
And that's going to cost them dearly. It could very well be a third, a fresh magazine, and a fresh peak. Luzza down as well. He's picking them apart like beans on a tree. Windansky is going to be falling as well. This could be the ace. Just hit the bullet, Pickles. We want to put it on YouTube. Hasn't quite got the 5th just yet, and now has to scavenge a Glock to try and put the final 18 points of health into Windansky. 1 bullet will do. And instead, things hit a bit of a standstill. Windansky not moving a muscle. He wants to take the head off Pit because he cannot get that bomb down without a frag there. Eventually, he starts to adventure from his den and is punished for it. And as they say in Dutch, lekker lekker.
Not quite finding their place. The theory was good. Imagine if Charlie Pickles was actually flashing them.
Suddenly they're on the site. Impromptu poetry aside, here we go into our second round. And this is the same kind of idea we saw from them over on Overpass on their second round bye. You can see the pistol, you try and come in at them, all guns blazing and all Tech 9s blazing. This time, one exception was that they had a flashbang, which has enabled them to try and take this banana control a little less contested, forces the CTs back had they been there. But note where that bomb is. 3 players, they've shown nades, they've shown steps towards that B bomb site. The bomb is elsewhere, and now Windansky starting to show face. This is just a question of trying to keep the CTs guessing to the start.
Yeah. Forcing him back on the sites, you get those pistols to bear, I guess, is the main thing. Give him just enough control. Imi, good info found. Didn't see bomb, didn't see much more than that. They're still leaving it very much up in the air. They left it at the top of mid, so again, just kind of taking a tester. Having a little bit of a linger towards, and Imi does find Boaster in the end. But he's being slowly but surely pressured towards now. He's not going to expect this. The timing simply maybe something he's not going to consider, but this opens up many opportunities. Not spotted them out, and Jacob's found a window of opportunity here. They can crunch towards B, they can pinch towards A. It's all up to them, but there's still utility on those B players.
Max has got it all to do and only a UMP. These are long fights. They can close in on this one. They've scavenged an M4. Well, sorry, Pickles has the M4, but he's on the wrong bomb site, and now they start to pinch. This is so scary. Max and Cryptics have to do something rather outstanding, and the bullets just aren't connecting. Bodies dropping already, both of them down, and Excel. This is well-structured Counter-Strike at this point in time. They pinch on the site, close fights with close weapons, and the bodies do just keep piling up. Endpoint looking to be out of this one, but it is just one man standing against them, and a 1-1 scoreline. It's Pickles.
He's delivered before. He needs to deliver again. A 1v3 on this site is not easy. He fails the first step. The second might be just out of reach. A wide peek from Luzza is all it's going to take. And the turn of events happens. That all begins with a good bit of timing and a good pressure play towards CT Arch.
Someone's decision-making there was spot on. You actually, I mean, you weren't necessarily committing. The bomb was up in top mid towards A. Windansky goes on a bit of a scavenger mid hunt, and because of that control towards CT Arch, the CTs, they gave them an inch, and in the end, XL took the mile. Fantastic work from them, and now we're going to be seeing a bit of a return. Instead of Tech 9s, they substitute them for Deagles, and we're going to be seeing what the CTs can do with their $700 investment. They've got Kevlar as well, so a little bit more, of course, added to that price tag, but still. Early nades, cut Cryptics down to size.
I wonder if that slightly short molly is to allow them to get the damage with the nade. I kind of like that. If that's the theory to it, it's quite nice little approach from Excel. But they're going through the motions. The molly's not quite perfect to sandbags, but it's good enough. There's no one there anyway, sure. So main thing done. But they're using the utility. They're forcing these guys back on the sites, and that's what you need to do is essentially keep those smokes up, play smart. Don't allow anyone to get those free picks, essentially. That's where Deagles become deadly. Once they work that out, they should just go for this nice hit as a collective.
And the beauty, of course, of using those Molotovs is it's information for free. By free, of course, I'm not losing your health, not losing your weapon, your Kevlar, not dying, essentially. And you get all that information. You know that you're not going to get caught by a 5-7 in sandbags. You're not going to get caught by someone waiting for you as you go wide on the corner. All of that is removed from the realms of possibility by the use of a couple of Molotovs. And they're, of course, on the T side, even cheaper. Now then, 40 seconds, and it does seem like the T-side have a plan. It's in the meantime, you can see someone is up to no good. Jacob is trying to keep those CTs busy on the A site, and it does seem to have been something, but no, they're going to make the call. The nades rain in. Cryptics is begging for help, and oh, the heads did fall into his crosshair, but not in the perfect timing for him. It's going to be Windansky to open and shut. In case of this round bomb to go in, and it will do so safely. They've only got those Desert Eagles, and those are fights they're unwilling to take. It seems like it's going to be more of a scavenger hunt and maintaining that Kevlar.
Yeah, exactly. Take this into the next round going forward. You can still do damage, the point is that, to be fair for XL, they only lost out on the UMP, still got the plant in, still have the rifles up, with Windansky finding 2, and obviously the M4 on Connor. So overall, XL are in a good position. 4 alive with the bomb plant is exactly what you need. Start trying to make that the economy stable for yourselves, bring your money up a little bit. They are slowly working their way back in.
We're going to be 3 rounds in here, and 2 players of XL have yet to contribute to the round. So far, it's been great work from Windansky. We've seen him in this round especially, managing to do the dirty work, and we are going to be seeing then round number 2 go down. It's always scary to Counter-Strike casters and Counter-Strike players alike. You know you're going up against those Desert Eagles. You know you should be winning that and doing so cleanly, but the power of that pistol cannot be underestimated. It is so scary, especially in the right hands, and this time it wasn't quite enough. But still, going to be the 2-1. After conceding the pistol round, XL bounced back and are showing some real flair so far here on Inflat.
A 3-man play towards B, and I don't mind it. I like that to start a round off with. Maybe get a stack going. Normally in buy rounds, you can put your utility down and rotate someone off.
Second time he's caught that nade.
Nice change up there. Ooh, lovely shot from Imi though. That's going to find Connor. That's the M4 removed. That's a lovely bit of work, but you can see XL are waiting for this now. They've set up, almost set the trap there at the expense of Connor, but gets the job done. But Mr. Pickles is on the prowl, and again, he finds what he needs, but good trades. XL don't let it spiral away, which is the first time we've really seen that.
The prowling Pickle finds its mark. 60 seconds for these Ts to not only upgrade their artillery, but also start to decide on a bomb site. And this would be the right decision should they commit towards this. You can see they're looking at the second letter of the alphabet, and there is no blue in sight. In sight, do you get it?
No.
Bomb site.
Oh.
Here they go. Just nades for safety. They don't have the information we do, of course, that beautiful radar and X-rays. Some real cautious is the word I'm looking for, play. And they are on their way together. You can see Mighty Max and Cryptix, 1 armored, 1 not on the stroll. Let's not forget the damage done by that HE at the start. Down to half health before he even got a chance to fight.
Nice work. Good connection from Cryptix. Here on Windansky's low, this becomes a little more scary. Shouldn't fall away from them. This crossfire is strong. It might be costly in the end, though. Those M4s and rifle, as well the AK, could have been lost there, but no. Kept to check, all kept to hand.
I like that they peaked at the same time there. It was either, you could have sat there and held a crossfire and suddenly communication dies, someone gets, naded.
Yep.
You've removed all of that just by simply saying peak in 3 and doing so. Fantastic work from them, managed to secure the round relatively neatly and tidily, and felt for a bit of a hiccup due to Cryptix and his Desert Eagle, but we're back in business, and we are going to be seeing, I'm going to call it a full buy. It's a Counter-Strike Go full buy, just UMP on Mighty Max. Have a little look what Imi's responsibilities are going to be, and that's such a tight angle. Keep your eyes on it. There are so many nades on that T side. You can't help but feel an execute is on its way. Digging their heels in deep.
Yeah, there's a lot of time. Play this out. Goes to a nice little flash over. Keeps them guessing. Let's see Imi having to have a little look here, but really XL haven't committed anywhere fully. They had presence in towards apps, and that's about it. They've now actually started to build it up. Flashes towards Pit, but they're not on Pit, they're on the balcony, but that's a mistake. Jacob's going to find Jess, caught him off guard, completely unawares as to what's happening, it seems, as it's down to the one only Mr. Pickles himself, and let me to hold on to this site. But oh, look at this, nice rotate. If you get a little bit of pressure from Jacob at the right time here, or even just showing.
Max is rotating off B.
Oh no, they're believing this hook, line, and sinker, Alex.
Max realizing his mistake and is going to try and get a panic nade off. If the Ts were just a fraction quicker, it could have been just 1 man on that site, but still, Molotovs are now in place, and the Ts have to make a decision. It has to be a quick one. The nades do suggest they should push, but the Flames hold them back, and through the fire and Flames, Dragon fourth. Are going to go ahead and draw blood. Connor's the one to run ahead of Cryptix, Pickles, and Imi then. You sound like an indie band, but have to try and find the second for Endpoint. Bomb ticking away. There's plenty of kits, plenty of nades. And Imi is on the prowl with the zoom banger.
Endpoint are gasping for opportunities now, and this is a good one. Connor low, a little chance of this utility, but the timing again, the peaks coming out at the same time, and that is lovely. It's making it impossible for them to trade effectively. I was just going to run into that one, and now it's a matter of trying to keep the money, keep guns up. But overall, we know how this is going. Excel is striding forward here, but we never questioned their T-sides. We knew their T-sides were good, and that's always been the case. It's a matter of how well do they do when they switch sides. How much of a lead do they carve away this time?
Whilst that is the question, I think it is worth mentioning as to where the success on the T side is coming from, because it is cohesion. It's not running into a bomb site mindlessly. There is Excel. They've got the CTs in the palm of the hand. They're playing them like a fiddle. Is it A? Is it B? Is a discussion that's going on rife through the comms of Endpoint at this point in time. There's frags, there's bodies, and indeed now there's a bomb lying in the middle of the map. Jesp, 1 bullet released, and now Excel have to operate with 4.
And it depends on who you talk to. Most will be very vocal about it, but this map, Alex, it does come down to money. Especially on that CT side, and getting reset on second and having very poor impact throughout the rounds, at least until around now, it keeps your money pretty much screwed. So you can't assert control anywhere. You can't play for banana control. You can't take it back. You may be able to afford a flash and a nade, but that's not the double molly. It's not the AWP. You can't leave him to solo out on B. Maybe if you get that control, you have very few options.
Absolutely. I'm talking of options. I don't know the team's well enough to know if they have the option of a double AWP. But that is something that if you don't have the money, you don't have a chance. In Inferno, such a viable map for the double AWP, especially on the defensive side. Never want to see that on the attack. Here they go, though. Wendansky's making plenty of noise. The elephant never forgets. You won't forget Pickles just dastardly destroying him. 2 bullets of a deagle. There he goes. Upgrades to an AK and finds the 3rd body. And now Endpoint have got a real chance. That's going to be not only another round, but it's going to be a chance to start getting some real money in the bank.
Credit where credit is due. They did that with just pistols. Yeah.
You
So
don't see that every time.
no, and it feels like that was a very individual round. I don't mind the defaults when you're doing them against, if you have the lesser buy, or if you're looking for opportunities, or if then you're going to kind of transfer into something else. But if you're letting yourself get overwhelmed, even just slightly on banana, then you saw the gun just being ripped away from the hand, it just gets a little scary, it gets a little worrying, and that's pretty much what happened. So a bit of a timeout coming in. Not sure if it's tactical, surely not this early.
That's what my headphone cable looks like at home. It's just a complete bundle of wires and mess.
Really?
You not see it?
No.
Every time I want to try and listen to music, it takes approximately 3 minutes to try and actually
3 minutes.
untangle the...
Oh,
look,
there it
look,
is.
That's what it looks like every time I pull it out of my pocket.
Pardon?
She just got one of the
It is a tactical time. It's very early on
The
as
coach
well.
is going to be vocal here. This is his opportunity just to kind of quickly recap. Probably just saying it was deagle round, they hit their shots, we didn't trade. It's simply just outlining why that happened and not to kind of linger too much on one unfortunate round. And for the Endpoint, it's them to say, fantastic, but we need to do it with rifles as well. So far, the 2 rounds on the board for the CT side have been with pistols. USP and deagle alike.
And look how fragile the money is on both sides. They're able to get a good purchase in this, but they're both down to very limited amounts, so it's depleted the funds quite swiftly. And what is this? Endpoint? What is that? No early utility put down banana, but don't worry, I'll jump the smoke.
With an AWP.
Yeah.
That's the play.
That's it.
Okay. Quick rotate. So, I mean, I can kind of half understand the logic there from Imi. He wants to show the AWP banana and then return to A. That's his thought process. Not jumping through a smoke, but I think I can understand that. You want the Ts to operate under the assumption that the AWP is being played B. Perhaps you take a peek you wouldn't otherwise. We'll see how that is rewarded, because you can see the smoke. Once again, Jacob has been the smoke master so far here on Inferno. He's got everything you need, and look at that. Perfect lineup to stop Imi, push him out of that location, and instead of opting for a random shot, he's going to be throwing that boiler, or rather just ahead of it towards quad, and it has locked the Ts out. Look at that. Perfect Molotov, slows everything down. He doesn't know it, but we do.
We haven't seen much given away in the form of what they've worked with, apart from Jacob basically making noise with the Tech 9. So they might work out eventually what's going on here, but he's trying to just give away that, okay, well, don't worry about, we only have pistols, or only have limited amounts. And they've probably worked out they have more than that, but it's a nice little bit of a mind game. Now, Mighty Max up in the boost, and where's the crossfire? Cryptic's here. That's quite nice, actually. Little unorthodox of a crossfire, you can fall off it. But we did see Boaster when they actually took this hit. He checked on that. So let's see where Boaster is, see if he's actually the one to have a little look, see where they are. Should be second in line, if not first. And he's about to go in now. Connor with him. He needs to check on this one. Boaster, let's see if he does it. He does. Brilliant work from Boaster. The double, he cracks open the side. It's all on him. And look at the time he had left, operating in the finest of margins.
Outstanding work. One, I could perhaps understand, but two, in quick succession. And that's going to have the CTs cowering as they desperately try and clutch hold of their weaponry. Boaster, no doubt, a cheeky smile creeps onto his face as he realizes with about 3 seconds of fragging, he has brought another round home for the boys from XL. A quick 180 and 2 bodies down. It was Mighty Max and Cryptix who did have, albeit an unorthodox hold. It was really nice to see. If you're coming in to the B-bomb site, if you're smoking off CT, the things you're checking are, you know, spools, now coffins. Are you checking emo? Are you checking, of course, dark corner, new box, oranges? These are the things you're looking at. You're not looking high into the sky. And even if you're focusing on one, you should be getting killed by the other still. With all of that said, Boaster does it. And that will be the fifth.
Yeah, very impressed. And that's going to prove a little bit. This is it again. And it's just really well done. The first kill was the important one to me. The second would have been traded on if he didn't get it. But the fact is, it just allows you that time, and it doesn't, you know, allow them to stop anything. Just bear in mind, they were down. They were in the red. They had no time to play with on that one. So
started planting at 7 seconds.
Exactly. If anything had gone wrong, you could see the difference. But Imi wants to be a difference maker and gets denied. Lazza delivers the first bullet to the chest, and it's a 5-2 scoreline overall. It might be 6-2 if it keeps up at this pace. Removing that utility and all that impact early on that Imi has been having is huge. That can make a massive difference if Windansky starts as well. You know that one-way smoke. You know it's going to be there. Good connection towards Pickles. And oh, that could be it. There it is. Doesn't even back away from it in the end.
I love that from Windansky. He knows exactly what that smoke means. For those of you unaware, see Pickles can see straight through it. You can see the peak from Windansky. So a spray, a pre-fire, followed up by a nade was a perfect combination. A recipe for disaster for Mr. Pickle.
But if they keep going one by one, Jesper's going to get played back into this somewhat. And that's the bomb there. Connor needs some support. Good molly coming in. Oh, but what a shot to follow. Jacob gets denied, and then we're just getting a little bit interesting here. Jesper could do more, but no, the timing on the peak is good. Boaster, again, I've got to give credit where it's due. This guy is finding the important kills.
He's got some timing to him. Really nice. He knew that his teammate was going to be jumping out of balcony. The perfect opportunity to peek as well. He can only choose one of those targets. It's a guaranteed trade unless you forget how to aim a weapon, which at this level you certainly hope won't happen. Still then, we're going to be seeing Cryptix once again. This seems like 2, if not 3 rounds in a row we've been forced to watch Cryptix just walk around the map. Think about life and stuff.
Life and stuff?
Yeah.
What do you think about when you think about life and stuff?
I just think it's so crazy that, you know, everyone that I see and meet and walk past and see on the street and the bus has a life as complex and as special as my own.
Yeah, it's always that weird, like, consciousness thing when you realize that other people have, like, this internal monologue. They're not just, like, extras in your movie.
Yeah. They're not just that person that he just walks his dog every day, you know? Just that's all he does. There's nothing more to it. So that's my existential crisis over, and now we have some Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I've been having them more often recently.
Have you?
Yeah, I think it's getting an 8.
Happy birthday. Yeah, I guess that's probably...
Oh, yeah, that's probably it, isn't it?
As soon as
you
blow out the candles, it's like, right, existential crisis.
Death is very close.
Yeah. I watched a horrible video which told me how many weeks you have left at, like, 25.
Yeah.
No, not a fan of that.
Nah, didn't like that. It's when they did weekend
No, that was,
stuff.
it was weekends. It was like, you've got 2,000 weekends left. I was
That's not many.
Haha, great. Groovy.
Speaking of things coming to an end, Endpoint running out of cash here. As Cryptix, you just dabbed.
Why'd you have to call me out like that?
Because there is somewhat of a crowd here, Alex.
I can quietly dab on my own. The microphone doesn't pick it up.
I see it.
Let a man.
I have to live with this.
Let a man dab. That's my motto.
Is that a new hashtag you're going to come through? Men's rights. Let a man dab.
I'm getting it tattooed backwards so that in the mirror I remind myself every morning.
What does it say backwards?
Blah, blah, shit. That's what it is.
Dab, what does it say backwards?
Bad. See what you've done there. I see it, I do. Don't be so proud of yourself, because currently we are going to be saying what should be an easy round for XL. You can see, yes, the Kevlar from Jess. He's treated himself due to a couple of extra frags, giving him the funds. But outside of that, it's just the preserved weaponry from Cryptic.
Look at this lovely deep smoke towards library here. It's allowing Jacob to do a little wrap. That's it. And it just got absolutely dumped.
Get banged. Here they go. Cryptix, you've got the weaponry. You only play on the server or on the CT side to do so, but Connor is going to strike back. Good teamwork as well. Bringing that one home, and now This is where Inferno gets painful, especially when you're dying in pairs. Mighty Max and Pickles heading towards Noah. And when Dansky is the one to take them downtown. Just then, Kevlar and Deagle.
Like a taxi driver.
Yeah, man. It's just got to find alternative words for killed them. And sometimes it gets a little vague. He took them downtown, Lauren.
I liked it.
Thanks.
It was very visual.
Yeah. Like, I feel like he pops them in an Uber and sends them
downtown.
Downtown. Spawn. Oh, just hitting the neck of Windansky, not enough for the one pop. And in fact, he's only got 2 points of health left. This surely is the end of him unless he finds the head. He shouldn't have.
Oh,
what is that? Outrageous. He even tried to go for the deagle on Connor, just trying to kill them after time, try and do something extra. All right, Jess, you may sometimes forget to buy Kevlar, but you can find the head. Fantastic work.
Speaking of extra, there's Boaster. Quite calm for once, not loud, not screaming away. Last time I was here last weekend, he was shouting the whole time, really, really in their faces, but this time, a little bit more quiet.
Boaster used to be on a TV show.
Have you seen the video? If you guys wonder, do tweet at Boaster or Jacob, who's both have the link. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he'll deliver, and he does some lovely dancing.
He slides around on his knees a lot. Very good.
What TV show are you watching?
No, it's like the knee slide, dude. It's like what we used to do at school discos and stuff to impress the girls.
Is that why your jeans are ripped on your knees?
Yeah.
Ah,
I used to
did wonder why it is.
bring a bag of pick and mix. The girls loved those pick and mix. Offer them like one of those fried eggs and try and dance with
fried
them.
Egg?
Everyone loves a fried egg.
No.
Yeah, do the last ketchup song and give them a fried egg. I was in there.
You're a charmer, Alex.
Sometimes holding their hand and everything.
Saucy.
Still, we are about to get some saucy CS. That's the hope anyway, as they do start to throw those nades in. It's going to be a rain from either side. Windansky is going to be the first to be caught in the shower. Just a light one at that. Has his umbrella ready. 81 points of health left, as you can see the T side are still non-committal. Though the nades have rained in from both CT and T alike, the bomb is almost on its way towards B. Yeah, it does look like it's going to be turning that corner, and so, with a 3-2 split, the CTs aren't going to be at a disadvantage should they group up for the push. So slow on this when they're trying to keep those CTs on the edge of their seats. In a dream scenario, the B players start moving, and they have. Look at this. The timing on B is going to be perfect. He pushes through. They're going to shut him down, and now look, Imi should be having a chance here, and he does get shut down, but already takes one down and hamstrings the assault quite considerably, because now bomb down, and it's going to be Luzza who has to hit the shot. Of course he does. Delivers once again. Just 2 frags to find. Trying to hunger for a third. The smoke may help.
Even with that smoke, there's still 2 mollies against him. The time that can be bought here is just huge. They're holding each other's pushes. The only avenue that Jesp has is maybe to work through ruins, but with that molly now put to play, he knows that his time is running out. He might as well just back away. He's going to try and keep Jacob to the side, but still, what are you going to do now? You're just going to run in on this one. He does have a kit. He's going to try and smoke it out maybe and go for a full defuse. I don't know if this is going to work. No, he's going to try and make it costly. And he will do, but there is no time on the board. It's another for XL at Endpoint. Have a little taste of what it could be like to have a victory, but ripped away in the end.
The power of those Molotovs, it's so agonizing to know. You've got to go through the scariest choke point that you know is being watched, or you walk through middle through the fire and flames, and there's 2 of them, of course. Just as it starts to dissipate, a second takes its place. And that was, well, once again, well played by XL. It's really refreshing to see a team that, you know, started so poorly over on Overpass, managing to kind of recalibrate after nearly taking it into OT on map 1. Now we find themselves here, week 4 of Gfinity Elite Series, battling for survival. Conceding the first, need the second. And here comes Connor. But Imi is just going to shake his head. Oh, nearly transfers into both of them. Boaster 1 bullet short of a double.
I hear chat going off, and I'd love to see what was said about that appalling play. I'm hearing it still. I will not be told. I can imagine what they're saying, but, you know, nice shot, well done.
Well played, I think they said.
Well played is probably the response. 3 now remain for XL. And you can see the massacre. I hope they remove those guns away. You literally have the other side to throw them over. So once you get control of top banana, lob the rifles over the fence, please. Please.
They will. They've done it before. Surely. Otherwise, those rotating from A are going to have some Christmas gifts waiting for them as they try and retake. That's unfortunate, but perhaps Lazza has something else in mind. Maybe holding Banana aggressively themselves, using that as a trap, a lure for the CTs rotating in. Nothing heading from Banana, so they have been given the benefit of that. But look at that mighty Max. He pushes straight through the smoke and gets one. Jacob does a backflip, and now Windansky is doing his very best to keep this round alive. Pickles has something to say, and he's going to shout it loud. One more bullet will do, but Lazza is going to crouch just in the nick of time to dodge that one, and we do see another round for XL.
I have to say, Windansky's been outstanding so far in this, keeping this together. This round is a highlight, but there's been moments prior to this where he's actually delivered the integral kills. Between him and Boaster, it's been very impressive. Overall, on the other side, you can tell that this isn't really in the repertoire so much for Endpoint. They've been kind of flustered a good few times. They don't look as fluid as they did on the first map, where they looked very, very diligent. And I think this is the first time we'll see Probably XL having a far greater CT side, just purely because on Inferno you had to work on it. It became, second to none to fight for that control throughout the map. So I think this is something we will see being far more clear-cut than the first map.
Absolutely something to bear in mind. CT side still haven't really done anything particularly new. We haven't seen an aggressive second mid-peak with that AWP. We haven't seen a two-man push through apps early trying to get some information. Instead, Windansky's given this for free. Every round, or at least the majority where we've seen Windansky, he is just sitting here, nading, fragging, and in general just making noise. A couple of times they contest on the staircase. Hasn't gone well for them. We saw Pickles, of course, caught off through his own one-way smoke, but outside of that, Windansky given map control for free. But XL, once again, in true XL form, have forced the CTs, with just positioning alone, into a very passive setup. There is no information there for Cryptics. Little for Pickles as well, as he inspects the intricacies of a brick. And the bomb is committed this time. You can see they're still anxious. Those players on B, they got caught out in the past, and now they lock themselves in. It's 3 versus 5 here, Lauren.
You should be able to undo this crossfire. It's so strong, and you're seeing it really kick in. Between Cryptics and Pickles, it's so hard, especially with that third player, to take them away. You need the mollies, you need everything right, otherwise they will just do this. Completely dismantle you one by one. Lazza has a 1v4 to handle, and that's just 4 too far, isn't it?
The only issue you're going to encounter in that crossfire is if they walk up short and balcony at the same time, and there isn't that presence from Pit. Yeah. There was, though, and you saw just how deadly it can be. There's a reason that's the first time XL have tried an all-out A execute. Just how scary. When you've got players as competent and as intimidating as Pickles playing that pit area, that's when it just becomes an issue. You either have to have some serious Molotovs available, implement them, but all of a sudden you've got to worry about side, balcony, behind. It's a very scary side to take. And now the alternative. Charge at B as fast as you can and take that AWP away from Imi, and it's only going to be a 1-for-1. Mighty Max has something to say, though. Just the one. Backs away. So weapons scavenged, though. There was, of course, a couple of Tech 9s, but rifles alongside that, and now an upgraded AWP.
That bomb needs to be picked up, however. Jacob's going to be able to find it. Needs to be a little careful. Falls away and waits to see if they move for information. Each side shouldn't. They can sit 2 to either side and be comfortable enough. Now, that's the smoke down towards the coils. Flash to follow, but they don't necessarily need to commit. They can send one in as a piece of bait, but both smokes even going up. The problem being that Mighty Max can see all of this. So it's not like they've locked off the information play. Him playing from the back of Nubox has kind of given this away. Not normal position, but now Cryptic's playing quite passive towards CT Arch. Timing is everything here. They might have the angle on him, or you just better know. Boaster lands it, and it's all down to him again. Charlie Pickles, what can you do?
But look, they're pushing for him for 1B, and Jacob's going to get them. I don't think he saw the bomb either. And now Jesper's caught in a horrible sandwich. He is going to get the first, but surely not the second. No, caught out by once again Windansky, who has been vigilant in those 1v1s, sometimes even taking 2. Now then, Pickles. A 1 versus 2. Boaster low. By no means impossible. He has the nade as well. Boaster, are you feeling like a nade magnet today?
He is the one who sat in towards Dark or Emo,
Such
so
a dunk.
It is a real dunk if he goes for this. Smoke CT, gives away his position, but will he nade it? He's looking, he's wanting someone to take that fight. No one's obliging yet. He's going to make it pretty close now. Dansky knows where he is, and this should play in Boaster. It does. Nice work from those two then to draw the attention. One way swing out on the other side.
So risky, leaving the bomb alone on an AWPer on the B-bomb site as the rest of you try and make plays on A.
Yeah.
Works out. It's rewarded as the CT pushes for him first. As soon as you see, your teammates dying on A, there's one man cowering in pit saying they're coming, library side. You're going to push.
Yep.
And you're probably not expecting an AWP sitting there. So well executed. Putting the bomb on him, perhaps a scary maneuver, but definitely rewarded for XL. They're going to be happy with that.
No, I think we're seeing a far greater display from...
This wasn't the same on Overpass, was it? Or am I forgetting Overpass? There wasn't this
Not
degree
this
of
level
fate.
of it.
This wasn't this much utility. There wasn't... It's solid. Really solid Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and I think it also just displays to me that this isn't a regular go-to for Endpoint. I think that, I'm not saying it can't be worked into their map pool. I just feel as though this doesn't look like it's there at the moment for them. The way they're playing, they seem getting caught off that often, not having answers. When your money's consistently depleted, it's very hard to find a way back in. Even though, of course, they will play the map. It's not like they've never played Inferno. It's playing it as a team, and it's a very different approach. It's not the same as your matchmaking or your gathers or your, ESEA, your face it. It doesn't matter. It's nowhere near that. It's a very different world. So, again, you can't just apply that. They don't exactly have a Smooya they can unleash, right? They don't have that one big firepower you can just build it around. So I don't know what they can really pull through here.
It's a very good point.
Thank you.
There's something that I think has been talked about an awful lot, but it's just the fact that if you don't have a map in your map pool and you're still working through the 7 maps in the pool, you're gonna have an Achilles heel that you just have to hope doesn't get brought up. And this is Endpoint. So we spoke to Essia, we heard Ben on the desk, and he was just stating that they were not happy with that. You see their face when Inferno is said. They were, what are they expecting? A cobblestone, perhaps, something along that line.
Mirage, anything else, basically.
Exactly, and instead they slap, Inferno on the table, and they quiver. Wouldn't you say? I mean, it's scary, and then we are going to be seeing a little bit of it. It looks like a technical timeout this time. Headphones are off.
Yes.
10-3 though, Lauren, the scoreline. That's XL. I mean, you've talked about the bad CT sides before, but surely that's going to be more than comfortable going into defense.
Just seeing how they're approaching it as they are, I don't think it's going to be anything like the first map.
Okay.
I think it's very different. As said, even though you do have to put time in on these maps, even on your CT side, just per default, they should be doing more.
Yeah.
So I can imagine that this should be far more dominating. It should be far more one-sided. It would look like their map choice rather than that close first game we had. Even though there were some real discrepancies from the XL side that seem to have been cleared up already on this T side. The cohesion's there, the individuals are there. Yeah. A nice T side is what we're having. I think this could be the first real map where we get to see it applied to that CT side to a higher level against a more even skilled team. So I don't know what Endpoint can do though. If they have even just the basics down, you can still get a lot going on Inferno. It's just that they don't have the depth to change things up with.
So if you recap this, just to kind of put everything into perspective, if you have just joined us, let me quickly paint a picture of how Inferno has gone so far. They have 3 rounds out of 14 in play that's been played. It's, 13 going into the 14th. They have won 3 of them. One of them was the pistol round. The other was entirely defense. And the third was the only buy round they've won. In the 13 rounds of play, they have won 1 weapon round. And you can see that spread. Look at that in the center of your screen. You can see just how spread they are. Not a single consecutive round from the CT side. And this veto, it shows the power of a good veto process. You can win the game before you're even in the server. And that's a fantastic flash.
It's so perfect. That's the first real chance we've seen built for them. And the first time Excel has been completely caught off guard.
Spectacular work. They creep and crawl up Banana, and this time there's some resistance, some friction. Not smooth sailing then for the T side here. That timeout, tactical or not, has seemed to put a little bit of extra life, at least in this round. Not a single point of damage has been done in return. They take 3 for free.
If you lose a 2v5, you will tilt off the face of the earth no matter what.
Oh, I'm in the universe if I lose a 2v5. I'm off Earth.
Floating away on your own.
Yeah.
Screaming bloody murder. Boaster lining up a smoke, doesn't go for it in the end. There's 3 players towards B for now.
That's the deep smoke we were talking about earlier, right? That's the one that lands just in front of Arch.
Yeah, it's the same one that Jacob throws.
Okay.
Laza slowly working up. If he gets a pick, they might go on this, but it might be a problem because Mighty Max is there too. He's made it on the angle. Not spotted yet. Boaster's actually checking on this. Not deep enough. Mighty Max and Cryptix there. Brilliant work between those two.
That was solid. I mean, you don't get a better round as a CT side. Early picks, slows down the T side, don't move a muscle, and finish it off. Complete dunk, slam dunk at that, and 500 points of health collaboratively across the CT board. This is how it started, though. You can see Cryptix, Connor and Windansky, their screens were bright white, and he put out the light. Now, one more round in the first half here of our second map, the final of the series, best of twos here at Gfinity. XL desperate to pick up the pace here, and they are not going to be greeted by a flashbang. Instead, it's the Flames, Lauren.
The infamous Rush V and Do Not Stop. Cryptix are in a fantastic position. A whiff and a half from Mighty Max. Not looking so mighty now as Jacob and Connor take over the site. As Jeff just trying to play back in, but nothing to be found. Hectic for sure, but the nades, the mollies, everything the T-side has is now been put to play aside from one singular molly. It's retake time.
Good Molotov, but caught with his back turn. Boaster. There's even a smoke available just a little late. They are going to boost. Oh, I like this. Get that AWP over the smoke. Nothing to be received towards Nubox though, but it does enable the Molotov, which will force Windansky's hand here. Connor, in the meantime, keeps Pickles preoccupied permanently. Now, Jacob, another with these Tech 9s. These pistols have done it, unless Jesp plans on doing something rather extraordinary. No, back turned, and Windansky's the one to thrive. We do see 11-4. Rush B, no stop. There's a Russian somewhere smiling.
It works, I guess, you know what I mean? You might as well just throw it in. All in all, though, 11-4 can be deceptive. You pick up the pistol, you got 3 under your belt, you're getting back in the game.
Sure.
So they can't get ahead of themselves, and we know that there is a running theme of poor CT sides from XL. This shouldn't be where it's displayed, though. This should be where they have a great game. This should be a good CT side for them. They should have everything in place. It's a very... I would be interested to see how well they play out the rotate. So this is something to me that when I feel a CT seems in control, one, they show presence on Banana. That's great. Now, however they want to do that, up to them. Whether it be the double mollies, nades, flash, I don't really care how you do it as long as you do it in some form. And then the second thing is that additional one player who's the rotate from A to B or back and forward. If you get him in the right place more often than not, I start to believe you've got a real shot on this map. So I'm hoping to see a little bit of that. That's what I'm looking for. But Alex, what about you? What are you looking for here?
I just really would love to see the power of the economy displayed here. Look at Excel, though. They're going for fast info down Banana. He knows what's coming. Windansky's been tasked with holding them, slowing them down, but it's not going to happen. He could not stem the bleed. Instead, Endpoint have been given the site for free. Now they're retaking before the bomb even goes down, and Imi's just laughing at them. Swift fragged with the P2K. In fact, getting a 2K himself. Now, Boaster has the kit. He has his Kevlar. Connor as well. You said 2v5s were embarrassing, but losing a pistol when you're trying to forge a comeback could very well be that. Not going to give them anything. This is perfectly executed by Endpoint. You can see they're just keeping them at arm's length. Pickles is the one to close it. Imi opens. Pickles close. That's a start. It's the second round we have to start worrying. Counter-Strike level offensive, folks. Let's see.
It's very possible. Again, you get the next 2 off the back as you should. It was turned before. It has been throughout the rest of this game as well. A lot of them go back for these shots. I almost felt that third then. It felt like it was going to be there. But still, this is where things get scary. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but Excel, very, very light.
I like the nades. It's cool. You know, taking 2 Mac 10s and a Tech 9 in place of something bigger for those nades. You don't want to be caught up by those P250s, those 5.7s, those pesky pistols that up close, it's just 1 bullet to the head and you're dead.
Full B hit going to come through here. Like it. I love this approach. Use these rounds. Be clean with it. Be smart with it. That was a little bit of an oversight. They didn't check on the boost there. Bit of a shame. Could have maybe put a bit of time towards that. Just run through it when you dry run it.
Spray or 2, yeah.
Yep. But all in all, job done. Good investment of Molotovs and everything else, but it's worked.
Now, where are those Mac 10s? I want Jesp and Imi to be bouncing rabbits of doom. The rabbits become the hunters in this, as they just check their corners and try and get some extra money in their pockets. They know they're likely unarmored. They know that they're going to be close. They're not going to be sitting in pit. And this is where you want to send him. You can see, look, that 9 HP is just sprinting towards him. He's like, give me money. Jesp already gets one with that Mac-10. The farming is in full effect, and so are the SMGs. They're filling the kill feed, and Jacob looks like he's not long for this world either, but time ends, and they're unwilling to commit.
They'll stay alive, even with that HP so low. Unbelievable.
And Nat's wing.
Yep. On the side you can see Endpoint now. Having to build back quite the way, but this is all par for course. One more, and you're at 7-11. You're not that far off. It feels like you're having a horrible half, and then the difference a pistol can make. And of course, Excel aren't rushing it. They're still in the lead. They still should be fine. They don't need to get worried yet.
Dream scenario for Endpoint. Takes down Connor. Double nades. Collaborative work from them. It's exactly the same buy they're up against those unarmored CTs. Excel, they know they have a lead and don't want to try and push their luck. Again, push it through the smoke. But Boast is just trying anything he could with the limited weapons he had, and now Jacob's just going to try and keep hold of that Kevlar vest. He could get caught out by Jasper just around the corner in the nick of time. No information for him. But yeah, I mean, dream scenario, as I was starting to set out, is you keep the SMGs, you keep getting kills with them, you win the first 3 rounds off the back of the pistol, you then concede a round perhaps, or continue to win the first buy. If you concede it, you win the following, and suddenly you've got oodles of cash, and suddenly you've got a real chance at this game.
Absolutely.
It's the power of the money. You were talking about it in the first half, Lauren. You were saying just how influential it can be, and they had no control of it in the first. Let's see if they can grasp it in the second.
Now, the important factor is they do have the utilities. Let's keep our eyes on Windansky and Connor, see where they're playing currently. They should be, I guess, as the duo. Jacob's going to set up a flash here. Are they going aggressive down middle at some point, or just a hindering flash? That's all it is. So, Molly's at top.
Connor?
Connor's going for this one. I like that. Now, the smoke's down there, but I'm not sure if they've got to check for that close wall. Nice work from Windansky to keep it safe. He'll actually allow Connor to escape more than anything. A quick smoke goes in, but a 1-for-1 trade isn't perfect in the end for the CT side now.
Oh, Windansky's corpse is just catching some final rays.
Spine broken in 2.
Oh god, it's brutal. Jasper, not the one to deal the damage. It was actually Mr. Pickles. Now the bomb is in limbo. Mighty Max is going to change that though, as he does start to maneuver himself and the explosive device towards B. And it's a 2-2 split from the CTs, and so it does really fall down to how much can you do. Connor is going to be the first on the scene, followed up by some trades from Jacob behind the site. You can see the T's of starting to hold those Molotovs and start to throw them out. And here we go. The flames are going to hit the floor, and we'll see which bodies join them. Molotov in towards Pool. That's going to limit the T's options. They have to kind of push into it. And oh, look at Pickles. Starts well, and now Jacob, you're in trouble.
Pickles is doing everything. And these two are done. They need to just save. Get out of there. This is not a map that allows you to play retake. That's why I discussed the fact that it's so important to get that additional man to the right side at the right time. Now, of course, that round they didn't have enough players, so you're kind of screwed from that point onwards. But the point being, just purely because playing from either side, I'd still say this is one of the hardest maps to play retake on, especially with Norp still up in play. You're pretty much screwed if you don't have that anyway. So if they do take the site, it's pretty much over. So you need to stop it before it starts.
What do the terrorist side have against those fish in that pond? Like, they're just straight up trying to destroy a fountain full of fish.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just so inconsiderate.
Like it.
Like, those are like happy little fish. You can see they were panicking. They were swimming really fast.
Scared.
Yeah, dude. There's like flames next to them. Wow.
Oh. Hopefully they're all right.
Yeah, I think they're fine. They're actually explosive immune fish.
Explosive immune.
You've not
fish.
encountered them. It's actually a genetic mutation that
Oh,
they're
no.
exploiting in the armed forces.
Oh, wow.
Immune to
Are
explosive
you
fish.
able to divulge us in?
Sure, head over to Wikipedia, just pop in explosive immune fish, you'll find it.
What's their short name?
Oh, EIF, or IF for short.
IF. And some aggression.
What?
Poster went for a walk, and he found the vast majority of Team Endpoint. Lovely impact, considering he was one of the players who had the gun. He was the guy who took the risk on the investment. And my word, did he almost make that really count. If he found Jesper, that would be perfect. But still, a great deal of impact.
Huge amount of impact, because now CTs have the numbers. Numbers are really the name of the game. Sure, numbers on your dollar count as well, but also just having the players in the server in the round means so much for the defensive side. Crossfires, baiting, so much more can be done with the tools at hand. It doesn't matter necessarily what you're equipped with, and that's an AWP from Laza. He takes Imi out of the game, and you're starting to panic. All that these teams have seen is an M4 and an AWP. You're thinking this is a full buy. You're trying to work out, crunch the numbers in your head, how necessarily this has worked. Laza unable to catch him on the cross, but from behind, Connor strikes in the end. He does catch him in the dome. Jesp trying to maintain Imi's weapon of choice, but he is going to be caught in a rather painful sandwich. As painful as sandwiches can be. Maybe a sharp brown loaf. Misses the shot. Now he's going to get hunted down. Windansky's going to pick that one up. 12-8.
So, Alex.
Whole meal.
You need to talk to you about this sharp brown loaf.
The seeds on it, Lauren. It's
so the seeds.
It's from like one of those pretentious like Whole Food stores. The bit crusty.
Bit crusty.
It's a painful sandwich.
I heard all of that.
Did you? Does this button not work?
Hello, yeah.
Well,
I'm absolutely joking. Alex was holding down the cough button for you guys at home, and I was pretending I could hear all of it.
The things I've done and said with that button pressed.
How dare you!
Don't scare me like that. Squeaky butt time.
Like an attacking loaf of bread. Sharp edges galore. Sometimes, though, when you get those rolls, they are overly hard, and you bite into it. It does get a little...
You understand me. Stabby bread and bush cobras. Welcome to Pansheen.
It's mostly you, though, Alex. You realise that this is why they've changed you to the host
They
role.
put me to the host role because I talk about...
We're going to script it, all right? It will just give you a skeleton structure.
Right, I'm just a robot that
Beep,
regurgitates words.
If we were only just sponsored by the Score Esports app, Alex, that would be...
Let's not go doing that because you'll get me going again.
I know, it does get you reared up, doesn't it, suddenly?
Here we go.
Ooh,
Endpoint have an idea and a plan, but I'm worried about how much Connor's going to be doing with that.
You've got 4 players in one place right now for Excel. If they actually stay in the right place, they should be able to hold this unless they just whiff.
Oh my god, they're all going to end up in pit. He doesn't hit the shot. That was such a necessity. A second chance, and he misses it again. Laza, somebody needs to know CPR because he's choking. Cryptix is going to get naded out. Catches Laza with that one, bounces off the corner, and good night, sweet prince. Now 2 remain for the T side. They got some real map control. They had an opportunity for the execute. But both times we've seen teams attempt to fully execute, it has landed rather flat.
Well, thus far, it's mostly because Excel had the additional players here. There's still threats on board, but nice work from Jacob. I almost felt that 180 was going to land, and you get that little feeling in your stomach, but no. Connor and Jacob lock it down in the end. Excel take another step in the right direction, but overall, let's kind of discuss what happened there. They had, the 3 players in the right place, and they had the 4th rotate already on that kind of speedway in spawn. So he was a quick player over there. So no matter what happened, even with the obscene misses Laza was just kind of, throwing around the map, you still had that extra man there.
It's something he's been quite proficient at as well. We saw him, very competent in overpass. They're holding the angles, that kind of stationary AWPer. They call them like the turrets. There's another word for it. The opposite of a combat AWPer. Passive AWPer, I guess you could affix that tag to it.
Freeze.
Freeze. Here we go. Holds the angle, and they walk on in. This time it's going to be Connor to finish the rest, of course. Majority unarmored. There's some Kevlar on Cryptix and Pickles, but that's not going to delay this round. CT's finishing this swiftly. Connor picks up 3, and you can see just how easy that one was. It's not easy to make those low buys work, but when they do, good God, is it scary. It looks like it's going to be a timeout now as they're going to catch their breath. Even Excel, despite being close to victory and splitting this series, it's nerve-wracking times for them.
Oh, it feels like it's been on a knife's edge this game, Alex. It has been back and forward. A lot of these teams, the rounds haven't been necessarily clean. There's been individuals providing a lot of work for both teams. So Endpoint, sure, 8-14 doesn't look phenomenal, but they've had rounds. They've had moments, and this could be another interesting one. Laza not landing it. Gutting it. A very good chance there, too.
Okay, Loud steps up middle. Jacob's going to keep their eyes drawn towards him as Max is going to start. Well, Boaster, an instrumental part in their defense. And oh, that's the bomb. At the backs, Max stood, but bomb loose, and that is going to once again put a spanner in the works. Imi through the smoke. Spectacular control. Look at the restraint. He's not going for a risky spray. He is here for rounds, and they need it. 14-8 the scoreboard, as this looks like it could very well be the night as they journey closer to double digits.
Can we check on the money here? Because I'm almost certain they don't really want to go for this XL. They do have money, so they've got, you know, a good couple of players on a decent spread, yeah. So they could make it costly, because the other side are pretty broke, to be fair. Get any guns away or keep them like locked into this area. So that might be where you see the player working through apps go towards. So I think that's Connor working his way through. That's not a bad shout at all. If he can keep them locked into this, they don't know that exactly, but they'll just work towards it. That's good stuff.
They're going to be saving in pit. You could pull a Dosia as well.
Oh, if only, do it,
Connor.
please.
Connor, you're in
Connor,
the perfect
come on,
scenario.
Connor.
Wait, no, they're pushing. They know that's a possibility. Cryptix is on the hunt. There should be. Wow, quick reactions from him. Very swift from Cryptix. It's one of those kills that, you know, Connor has got it already in his head. He's already got that kill. He's thinking, where do I go from this kill?
Yeah.
Cryptix laughs at him. Really, really nice quick reactions from him. And the hunt wasn't quite ideal. We didn't get to see that glorious nade. We should probably explain.
Yeah, the Doja nade, right? No, please go ahead, because you can explain the dynamic behind it. You're the host, Alex.
Oh, absolutely.
Break it down.
If you were unfamiliar and didn't catch the previous major, Dosia, one of the players of the winning team Gambit, threw out a nade into that very corner you can see on our screen because our observer is a babe. And that's often where you'll find T's saving. Once you get that bomb, you know, planted, you know that it is going to be a one round, but the CTs have gone to scavenge and hide and scurry away into their various hidey holes. You sit there and you don't have to leave. You don't have to take the risk of walking into an opponent, but I'll talk about it later because it's aggression once again from the CTs. Boaster did it once, and now it's Connor to do it again.
That is absolutely sophisticated dominance coming out from XL. We saw the pressure before and it didn't go perfectly. We saw that same play, but the coordination wasn't quite there. This time, they've perfected it. Luzzy even hits a shot as well, something new for us to look at in comparison to the last couple of rounds, where he's been hitting anything other than the opponents, leaving just Imi, who's been great as well. A little bit of a name we didn't say all that often with high sung praise. He's been, you know, a little bit here and there, but he has been landing some blinders and keeping them in this game on quite a regular basis. So this guy can keep his head up, and he's still fighting for this.
You kind of have to in this scenario. You're not getting out alive when you know that.
None of us are, Alex.
Is forwards. Existential crisis.
It's lingering.
We're back. Now, when Dansky's the only one on the site, and with that... Oh, that boost is absolutely zero chance you check this. See you later, alligator. The Irishman strikes. And we have 15. XL looking to split this series. You can see Endpoint. It was all smiles on map 1, or at least in the first half. Here you can see XL are starting to really find their pace. Demoralizing as well for Endpoint. And let's not forget their current record. You can see that it hasn't been, you know, all sunshine and rainbows. A split series versus Infused. The only kind of convincing win they've picked up was with Method just last week. This is a big one for both teams. XL, a battle for survival. You've lost 2 flat out and 1 draw. You need at least, at very minimum, to get that other draw. And even then, your success is not certain. This is just the kind of cross your fingers, cross your toes. Let's win Inferno.
Yeah, and you look outside of this. What was that?
Oh, just somehow making it into a half rhyme. It wasn't great.
Say it again for us, Alex.
Cross your fingers, cross your toes. Let's go win Infernos. I just had to pluralize it. That's the only option I've got.
I'd feel like you're the person who'd work at like those kids camps. You know what I mean? Like the summer holiday camps, and you'd be overly quirky and annoying. You'd call yourself bubbly. Oh, no. You know?
I'm not quite.
You'd wear a jazzy t-shirt.
I would rock a jazzy t-shirt.
Yeah, you would.
But I don't know if I haven't got the body for cargo shorts. I feel like they're a necessity at summer camps.
Yeah. Well, hot pants.
No, I don't like a
jorts. You're a jorts man.
All right.
15 to 9, Alex.
Makes that booty pop. Luzza misses the shot. The double AWPs are coming in for the CTs. This is just a celebration. Running around a victory lap perhaps for XL as they bring the double AWPs out. They know these pistols want to get close. What better than an AWP to keep them at arm's length. Mighty Max already catches a nade, and Jasp gets just a tickle.
Pickle. I had to do it, Alex. You're always
biting my tongue.
I was wondering where you're biting them. We're on that topic. Be kind. Smokes, mollies still left. They can make something out of this, and the point being though, overall, is again Endpoint are going into a stack unless they switch up and go B. Now, Jacob can just play this kind of speedway rotate. He's got, you know, someone he must have serious faith in Connor there with the AWP. So if this turns into an art trap, still decent. You have Jacob there in a quick push out from Luzza. Now he's going to see this. He knows that he can be under more pressure. Spots it, calls it, but he doesn't ask them to support. He's going to let them play into it when Dansky connects the blinder.
And he's going to surely put the cherry on top. Yes, indeed, Mighty Max will only get one more opportunity because XL have done it. They split the series here in London. Week 4 of the Elite Series, and XL, they were doubted at times, especially in that first map. It was a 16-14. This was not too far away from a 2-0 to the underdogs of XL. They needed both. They're probably not going to be too upset about one.
No, and after the first map, it felt almost heartbreaking, getting so close, as said, to pushing it just that far, getting to overtime, but then falling short. Of course, the side who just picked up a very solid win here on Inferno.
Yeah, some great work from them. Do you stand by losing in 16-14? Losing in that fashion is far more demoralizing than, say, the 16-3 it looked like we were going to have in the first.
For me, I think it's way more demoralizing to lose those kind of incredibly close games, because you still feel like, oh, so close, oh, they just did this, right, oh, that was just lucky.
In your head
and in your head, you think, oh, that's just not our map, for when we lose those kind of quick games, like, oh, we just don't play Inferno that much. And that's probably very true as well. So, again, all said and done, though, pretty good game. Your debut back to UKCS, Alex, how's it feeling?
It's crazy, dude. This is where I started. Like, I was starting over in Leicester and doing that now, rocking it in London. It's so cool to be back.
It has been very nice casting with you again. We'll be casting later on as well. But for now, let's head back to the analysis desk to break that one down. Hear what they had to say.
Thank you very much, Pazzi. Thank you very much, Machine. I think you'd look good in cargo shorts. I genuinely would. But listen, we can discuss that and the play from Excel and Endpoint after a quick little break. See you back in a minute.